Welcome everyone to another live stream from Fat Ninja. I'm your host, Raging Anybody. I'm joined here by Jamie. Say hello, Jamie.
Hi, guys.
And Steve will join us a little bit later. He's got to work. He's got to earn them hard-earned bucks. So, first off, I'm going to go over a couple of things with the channel news. It's not too much. We will be introducing a new host slash writer this upcoming month here. We've had a couple of people who applied and stuff, and so we've narrowed it down, and so we're pretty sure who we're going to introduce. But not count my chickens before they hatch, right? Other than that, we have decided not to do the Wednesday review videos. Instead, we're going to stick to doing reviews in our little monthly live streams here and stuff. It just, right now with the size of our staff, we don't have enough people to do reviews on top of also delivering our top 10 lists and so on and so forth. So, yeah, other than that, there's not really too much news for the channel. We're almost close to 2,000 subs. So that's, hooray. Make sure you tell your friends about us all, like, share, subscribe, all that good business, and, once we reach, our next goal, 2,500, we'll do a special little video for that. And then the goal after that will of course be 5,000. So at 5,000, once we get to 5,000 subs, I will personally hold a prize drawing for something special. We'll see what's popular, trending, whatever, what people want around that time. Could be a collector's edition Blu-ray, could be something like that. But we'll hold a little prize drawing, and all members can then put in their names, their emails, and all that stuff like that. We'll draw like 5 winners or whatever. So, but that won't come, like I said, again, we got to hit 5,000 subs first. So, all right. Yeah, other than that, I don't think there's any other channel news. Pretty short. Let's see. There we go. So we're going to get right into upcoming films for March. There's actually a shitload of films. We tried to narrow it down to just a handful. But these are the films that we think at least look the most interesting or will at least have the most attention put on them. Not all these films are going to be bangers, but some of these films at least look somewhat interesting. So let's start off with, let's see. Let's start off with Ash. Have you heard of this film?
I've heard about it, but I didn't see much on it until we started talking about him.
Well, when I saw the trailer, first time I saw the trailer was on Facebook of all things, right? Now, a quick premise: on a distant planet, a woman wakes up to find the crew of her space station has been killed. She must decide if she could trust the man sent to rescue her. Right? I love space horror. It's a pretty basic plot, right? Being recently on Twitch, if you guys follow me on there, I played a game called Monolith, which is similar to this premise. Your ship crashed and you wake up and you're this woman who's like, holy shit, where's my crew? Blah, blah, blah. And, but after watching the trailer for Ash, I'm like, this movie looks like trippy as fuck. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have seen, Pandorum. Have you ever seen that movie?
Back
like 2009, yeah, 2009-ish, around then, right? Where like basically the crew, when they wake up, they're like suffering from like oxygen deprivation and all this other stuff, and they're kind of like losing their shit, right? That's kind of what this trailer reminded me of. Like what I'm curious about is first of all, the kind of planet that she landed on looks like it's got some sort of chemical atmosphere, some sort of gaseous atmosphere, which might end up affecting her mental capacity, right? Like it's giving her hallucinogenic properties and whatever else, right? Like she's tripping balls. And on top of that, the trauma of crashing and everybody being dead. I
And
don't
then you're
know.
on this like deserted island or
Right,
deserted planet with nobody.
right,
Like that alone instills a lot of fear.
right. And the trailer doesn't give any indication of how long she's there until she like wakes up or whatever. Like, because she wakes up from some sort of cryo sleep, right? So she could have been there for like months, years, right? The reason I bring that up is how long does it take for a rescue crew to get there to find them, right? Because pretty much, as far as I gather from the trailer, as soon as she wakes up, she finds out her crew is dead, and then like moments later, she runs into a guy. I'm here to rescue you. Now, he could be real, and she could have been trapped in some cryo sleep for like months or even years, so that it makes sense for that guy to finally make it out to that planet and rescue them, or he doesn't exist. He's a figment of her imagination.
I'm kind of going along those lines of he doesn't exist.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I
Because like in the trailer, he's like, "You sent this SOS message to me," and she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, see, that's the thing. We don't. I mean, that's a sign of a good trailer when it doesn't give you all the
Anything.
entire plot like right away, so
Yeah.
we can't figure it out. She thinks that everybody is dead. For all we know, there could be other survivors who left the ship. Again, we don't know how much time has passed since the crash. So,
Right.
but I am curious about it. I love a good sci-fi horror film, so I am excited to see it. It
The
comes.
cinematography looks phenomenal, though. Like all
Yeah.
the set designs and
Yeah,
everything, it just looks
it's
beautiful.
very colorful, very neon, like the Neon Demon, if you guys are into that kind of film, or uh there was an old film, Beyond the Black Rainbow. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but it's very much like that. Anyways, the film is scheduled to come out on March 21st. So it will be on Shudder and Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's going to have a theater release, but it will definitely be on those streaming services on March 21st. So next up, we have The Woman in the Yard.
That one looks good.
Yeah, the premise is a woman in black appears on a family's front lawn and delivers a chilling warning. No one knows where she came from, what she wants, or when she will leave. Uh it Yeah, it looks interesting. It feels very much like that Daniel Radcliffe movie, right? The Woman in Black, and that other one, with Meryl Streep, I think, the Winchester. It was either
Yeah,
Meryl Streep or Helen Mirren, one of those two.
one of those two.
Uh, I don't know. I'm not usually a big fan of these kind of films. So, what do you think? What do you think about this film?
I'm getting curious about it because I've seen a lot about like a lot of little bits and pieces of it. And I like that it's like taking place on a farmland and then she just appears. And just her eerie voice that you hear in the trailer just really piqued my interest. And then you get some of these like little scares through the trailers.
Does it
I
say
think
who?
it'll be good.
Does only the wiki only says who plays Ramona. I mean, it lists all the actors in the film, but it doesn't tell me who plays the woman. So
Yeah, I couldn't find that either, but
it is. Yeah.
it'll be fun.
Um. Yeah. I mean, it says it premiered at a film festival and it got pretty good reviews. I don't know. Again, I mean, I'm not a huge. I don't mind. I like ghost films and stuff, but or spooky
But
whatever
is this a
films.
ghost film or is it a banshee?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, what's the difference? Isn't a banshee a ghost?
Not really. They're more, I do believe, Appalachian beliefs, but it's just a woman that like predicts your death, and if you hear her cry,
Oh,
be
so it's kind
prepared.
of like the Raven from Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, okay. That's kind of interesting. Well, the film comes out on March 28th, Universal Pictures. So this one is definitely coming to theaters. Um, yeah, I mean, the trailer is out on YouTube, so definitely go check that out. Is there anything else you want to say about it?
I'm really curious that they took like the entire cast and it's an all black family. So getting
Oh,
to
I didn't
see
know that.
their reactions to it. So it'll be pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't actually know that. I only watched the
Yep.
trailer once, so I'm a
It's an
little bit
all
behind
black
on this
family.
one. Okay, well that makes it interesting. All right,
Yeah. So used to horror being all white people.
yeah, usually, especially movies where they take place out in the middle of, well, this looks like
A
farm
farm.
country, right? I mean, it
Yeah.
looks like a wheat field out there from the screenshots that I'm. Well, you guys can't see what I'm looking at, but from what I'm looking at, it's a bunch of like it looks like Kansas.
It does. Kansas or Nebraska or something like that out in the middle of nowhere. Completely dry. Nothing going on.
The
Oh,
nothing's. It doesn't say where it takes place,
no.
but it was
So
filmed in Georgia. Okay, so all right.
that would be interesting.
All right, well, next up is the Alto Knights. Now, this one I did see the preview of. Um, are you a big fan of Robert De Niro and his little,
I love De Niro.
yeah, his gangster films? This one I don't think is yeah, no, it's not Scorsese. This one is Barry Levinson. Interesting.
Yes. And it's
Um,
1950s mafia where De Niro plays dual characters.
Yeah, he plays Vito Genovese and Frank Costello, Italian American mob bosses. Genovese orders a hit on Costello, and Costello survives but is wounded in the attempt and ultimately decides to retire from the mafia. So it's based on a true story.
Mhm.
Robert De Niro plays both Vito Genovese and Frank Costello. We've got Deborah Messing, Cosmo Jarvis, Catherine Narducci, Michael Rispoli. Holy shit, this cast is stacked here.
It's
Anthony Gallo, Wallace Langham. Holy shit. The only thing I will say is from watching the trailer, it maybe because it's a Netflix production, right? Well,
yeah.
no, it's Warner Brothers. Sorry for so Max, but maybe because of that, it has this weird texture to the film. I don't know how else to explain that, but it looks like they did a CG overlay over
Yeah.
Robert De Niro, to either de-age him a little bit or I don't know what. I mean, there's practical makeup effects. You could see that, right? They gave him a
Yeah.
bigger nose for I think for Vito, and they sunk his cheekbones in for the other character and shit like that, right? But a lot of it does look a little bit rubbery CG, like the baby man from when they did that the Scorsese one. What was that one called on Netflix? Came out like a couple of years ago. Blanking here.
Of course.
Gotta Google. But while you Google that, the film looks like it's coming out on March 21st as well. Will be hitting theaters. Um, and a very big release, national release, so it's not just a few select
Irishman.
theaters. Yeah, The Irishman. That's it. They had the weird CG effects to it. But yeah, so March 21st we'll hit theaters, and then about 20 days later we'll hit Max. So if you don't want to go see it in theaters, it will come to Max eventually, exclusive at first, and then of course all the other streaming services. Um, it was entirely filmed in New Jersey, even though it takes place, I guess, in New York. Um,
Well, 1950s New York is probably pretty much like present day New
New
Jersey.
Jersey, yeah. I haven't been to New Jersey in a while, but yeah. I mean,
Never been.
they're very good at keeping old buildings in pristine condition. Well, I do like that. Um, ooh, yeah. Wow. So the original title was called Wise Guys, and the original guy who worked on it with Nick, so Nicholas Pileggi wrote the script,
Mhm.
and he originally co-wrote with uh, Chase, David Chase from Sopranos. but Chase stepped down, and then Barry Levinson took over. So that's interesting. I don't know if how many people here are fans of The Sopranos. I absolutely love The Sopranos. I thought The Sopranos were amazing. And his son, the actor for Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini, his son is actually in one of the films that we're going to talk about soon. I forget which one, but he is actually going to be playing like some sort of cop in one of the films we're going to talk about. He has also been cast recently in an unknown role for the MCU. So that's interesting. I like his son. I don't have you seen The Many Saints of Newark?
No.
So his son basically played the younger version of Tony, right? Played high school age Tony, right? And I mean, he's got the same mannerisms, the same expressions, and everything like that. He doesn't have the same gruff voice, but he is his dad. And so it's good to see this kid. Like, he's actually a up and coming talent I would keep an eye on. But again,
Eye on them all.
right. Again, March 21st for those who want to see it in theaters, and then eventually 20 days later on Max. So, next up is The Senior. Have you heard of this film?
I did. This looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's a sports drama.
I like sports.
I like sports dramas. I'll be honest. I mean, recently I rewatched like 42. I was on a whole what's his face kick, Chadwick Boseman. I was rewatching all his classic or all his films, and I remember watching 42, and that one's pretty good too. Harrison Ford and Chadwick Boseman. Would have been cool to see them face off in the MCU now, but R.I.P.
Right.
But The Senior is based on the true story of Flint, who at age 59 became a college football linebacker. So it's a true story, starring Michael Chiklis, the original The Thing himself, and what's his face from The Shield. He plays Michael Flint. Don't really recognize many of the other names. This looks like a smaller budget production.
Yeah.
It was screened originally at the Fort Lauderdale International Film Festival back in 2023. Wow, so they held on to this one for a while because it's not. I mean, it is releasing now major theaters on March 7th, or select theaters, I should say. Sorry, March 7th. So in 6 days from now, it's select theaters. Chances are distributed by Freestyle Releasing. I don't know, but I can guarantee you this movie's hitting Tubi and Freeform and all those kind of channels. So if you're not gonna go, if you don't see it in theaters, definitely look for it on those. But so far as I can read here, it's got some decent reviews and stuff. I'm definitely curious about it. Like I said, I do like sports dramas. I think they're, especially the little cheesy, sappy ones like Coach Carter and what's that one with Denzel, the Disney one, way back in the day. Oh man, if anybody in the comments wants to speak up, go for it. I love all those kind of movies where they have that. I mean, yeah, we know it's a little bit on the nose, the heartfelt sentiments that come out of it and stuff, but whatever. It makes you feel good. It makes you smile by the end of the movie when they win their championship, or even if they lose, they all love each other anyways,
Remember the Titans.
Yeah, Remember the Titans. That was, let's see, Remember the Titans, but I did not. Yeah, I love those cheesy movies. This
one looks kind of interesting though, because it's this 59-year-old that's going back to college to get his degree after he was kicked off the team 35 years earlier.
Didn't Zachary Levi, like, I want to say like maybe 2-3 years ago, didn't he also do a film about an older football player making it into the big leagues and stuff? I'm pretty sure. I I can't remember, but I know it was like a big deal and everybody was talking about it. And then, um, yeah, it was called American
American
Underdog.
Underdog.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was kind of a similar story, wasn't it? I mean, although this one is about an older guy being cast in the NFL or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think I liked that movie because I don't remember much about it at all. It didn't stand out in any way.
No, and the thing is like getting into the NFL is such a unrealistic thing in the first place, and then on top of it, he's an older person. But in the college scene, this even seems more unrealistic, but yet it did happen. So it'd be nice to see that take.
Yeah. Plus, I do like Michael Chiklis. I think Michael Chiklis is one of those underrated actors. He gets a lot of
Very
shit.
much so.
He doesn't get cast a lot because he's bald, you know. Us baldies
Yeah.
got to stick together. I would
I
love
have
it
full head of hair.
if in the future MCU, the Secret Wars, because they already did Chris Evans as Human Torch cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. It would be awesome if they brought Michael Chiklis back as the Thing and had him face off against the new version of the Thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
That would
he'd
be
do it, but it would be funny as hell.
Yeah.
All right. Next up. Oh, so again, March 7th. Check for it on like things like Tubi, Freeform, probably a Fandango, shit like that. All right, next up on the list is Opus. Now you wanted to talk about this one, so go for it.
This is where a young woman gets the opportunity to go live with a pop star who has been missing for like 30 years and is living on a compound where she learns some heinous truths about the compound and all of the cult leaders. I am very
Okay.
excited.
So is it a mystery thriller or a horror film?
It's a mystery thriller, I do believe.
Okay.
So, like, she gets this opportunity to go live and interact with all these cult members, but then soon she's like trying to survive the rest of her life on this compound, trying to escape. It seems perfect. And honestly, the lead actress of it, I think she's going to do so phenomenal. I cannot pronounce her name though, but she looks brilliant.
Ao Edibiri?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you got John Mahalovich.
Malkovich?
Malkovich, yes.
There you
I'm
go.
stuttering.
And Juliet Lewis, and you got
Yep.
some decent. This what you're describing sounds a lot like. Have you seen came out last year? Channing Tatum Blink Twice.
I haven't seen it yet. I've been wanting to, but
So spoilers for anybody who wants to see that movie. You got a couple seconds here. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so Blink Twice. You know, it's like this rich dude. He's got his own little island and shit like that, right? And you know, he's hot and sexy, right? And all these women want to bang him and whatever. And so he brings all these
Tatum.
exactly. He brings all these chicks to this island, but the island is not all fun and games. Like the first few days start off that way, but then it turns out, you know, he's drugging them and abusing them and doing all sorts of crazy. I don't want to go too much detail. I don't want to spoil everything, but kind of that kind of stuff. It turns out to be a real nightmare in the end. And
Yeah, kind of like, yeah, it's very similar on this line.
Yeah. Oh, that movie was actually really underrated. If you haven't seen it yet, check out Blink Twice. That one is definitely. I mean, Channing Tatum gets a lot of flack because he always plays a lot of dummies. But between Blink Twice and then an older film, Foxcatcher, I mean, he's got some real acting chops. He's got some real skill.
Well, he just did one too, Dog, I think.
I haven't seen that one. I know about it,
really
but
good.
that's the military one, right? With the dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah?
Like he can embody that kind of personality and just bring everything to the screen that you're not questioning much.
Well, I noticed that even watching like something like 2021 or 22 Jump Street,
Yeah.
he makes you. He's so doofy that he makes you feel bad for him all the time. he's got like this thing about him where you empathize for him.
You can, but he's so gorgeous.
Right, exactly. Anyways, back to Opus. Film comes out on March 14th. Oh, no, sorry, two different dates. It already released on at Sundance on
Yep.
January 27th, but comes out for everyone else, for us normies, on March 14th. In all theaters. It's A24, so it'll be widely distributed. And so far, the reviews are not very good, though. The reviews are I mean, these are critics reviews, not people reviews. People reviews and critic reviews are always wildly different. The critics are hating this movie. The critics are 5 out of 10.
So naturally, I'm gonna love
43
it.
out of 100, right? 38% type of shit. So, who knows? You might like it more. Exactly. You know, as you know, we judge films on a different basis, right?
Right.
But it's also the directorial debut for Mark Anthony Green. He also wrote it. So, who is that? He must be an up and coming. But I mean, the fact that he got John Malkovich and Juliette Lewis on board says a lot, you know. So they must have really believed in the project. You know, it was filmed in New Mexico, and the music is done by Nile Rodgers and The Dream. So it'll be an interesting, eclectic soundtrack, that's for sure. Definitely very R&B. Anyways, yeah, so definitely check this one out March 14th when it comes out, and then or wait for it to come out on streaming. Usually got to wait for a month, right? But
Something like that.
yeah, it's called Opus. All right, moving on to The World Will Tremble, another movie you wanted to talk about.
This one is the Holocaust one. Okay, so I am fascinated with World War II and like how everybody survived what they could, because like my Oma is from Germany and I got to learn a lot about what she witnessed as a child there.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing two prisoners try like escape a concentration camp and then have to travel through Poland to get to a safe haven, essentially, to tell the world about the tortures that are really happening on these concentration camps. Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
Here you go. Here's a true story. My mom's side of the family, her mom, was originally from Poland, and she fled Poland and hid in Germany by marrying my grandpa, and he hid. You know, whatever. He took them in, and they became German citizens. They're not Jewish or nothing, but they fled Poland regardless because shit was hitting the fan. And she
Right.
had her previous husband, my mom's brother's dad. He died shortly at the beginning of World War II. My grandpa was only like 17 at the time, going on 18 when he met my grandma, who was 2 years older, so she would have been 19. And yeah, so scary time, you know. But they fled all the way to the southern part of Germany, almost into Austria, and lived there.
That's
And
probably the safest place to be.
yeah,
I know a lot of
right under
people
the
wanted to
nose.
go to Austria. So, but yeah, it looks good. Like, you got Tim Bergman and Michael Epp.
Michael, oh, is that Michael J. Fox or Michael Fox? I don't know if there's a difference.
Michael Fox. Michael Fox. It's
It's not
somebody
Michael.
else.
Okay, so it's not Michael J. Fox. It would have been interesting. It would have been Michael J. Fox. I'd be like, really? Um,
I would love to see him get back into film, but I know
I
with
think
his
he's
Parkinson's,
yeah. I think he
he can't.
retired officially. Right? He's
He
done.
did. He's just doing Parkinson's research
Yeah,
campaigns.
because the last one he did was just a TV show, and then he was like, all right,
Yep.
I'm done after this.
Yeah, it
But
was too hard on him.
the film releases wide release on March 14th. It's distributed by Vertical, but it is coming national release, and so it is hitting theaters. Yeah, there's it's got really a lot of great reviews. It did premiere in January at the Miami Film Festival. Got a lot of great reviews. Um, the whole entire film was shot overseas in both England and it looks like Czechoslovakia and Holland. So it was filmed in very different places. It stars Oliver Jackson Cohen, Jeremy Newmark Jones, Anton Lesser, David Cross. Oh, David Cross, I know who that is. Michael
Yeah, there's
Fox.
not a lot of known people in this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of up and coming. Tim Bergman, Danny Scheinman, Michael Epp, George Lenz. Even the director, I've never heard of Leor Geller. I don't know who
I
that
haven't
is.
heard of him either, but I think this is like a great film for it.
Leor
For him.
Geller, he's mostly in the whatever Sundance circuit here. It looks like a lot of his work is mostly TV series here, documentaries and stuff. So he's only done one other feature film, We Die Young, in 2019.
I think I've seen that, and that was really good.
It's about a 14-year-old boy in a gang in Washington, D.C. Interesting.
Yeah.
Starred Jean-Claude Van Damme. Look at that shit. Holy shit. All right. But yeah, so yeah, definitely definitely check this one out. This sounds interesting. If you, especially, I mean, I know we have a lot of World War II enthusiasts on the channel. I've seen that in the comments. Oh, did somebody join? Is that Steve?
Yep.
Yes, I'm here.
Steve! Oh, hello, say hello to everybody. It looks like Steve is finally joining us from his weary day at work.
Yes. Hang on, I need the video.
Yep, pop your video on and it'll adjust itself. I pre-did this. We had Jay from Australia on before, and he was helping me.
Oh, nope.
We just got done talking about The World Will Tremble, the historical World War II drama.
Oh, okay.
Set in 1942 Poland.
Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Oh, here we go.
Look at that handsome, beautiful face, all bearded.
Yeah, yep. Hold on, I want to see. I wrote some notes on some of these things.
Okay.
We'll pull them out right now.
Yeah, do your thing.
Let's see what. Fat Ninja Notes. Which one were we on?
The World Will Tremble.
World Will Tremble.
World Will Tremble. What did I write about? I was looking at the ones that I was excited about. Oh no, did I? Oh no, I did. Oh, okay, the Holocaust film. All right. Yeah, it's gonna be let's just say topical.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's what I wrote in my notes.
Yeah,
but yeah, it looked good. It looked good.
Yeah, I was telling Jamie before. I was like, my grandma, she escaped from Poland at the beginning of World War II, and we met my grandpa, and they fled to southern Germany, and that's where our family's from. But all right, well, again, March 14th. So be sure to check that out, everybody. Moving on to the next one. A Working Man. Now, we were Jamie and I were kind of talking about this beforehand. It's a Jason Statham vehicle. That's all you need.
Yeah, you did.
Doesn't matter what the plot is. Jason Statham is about to bust some heads.
There to kick ass.
That's literally what I wrote. I wrote Jason Statham playing Jason Statham. Yeah.
That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah, but it is David Ayer directing, so there might be something there.
Okay. Well, just a quick. Its premise is Levon Cade, an ex-Royal Marines commando, leads a peaceful life as a construction worker. However, Levon is forced to use his old set of skills to find his boss's teenage daughter Jenny, who had been kidnapped by human traffickers, and soon uncovers a conspiracy of corruption and government agents involved in human trafficking. So it's Taken meets The Beekeeper.
Yeah. But it's Jason Statham, and you can only expect one thing out of his films, and one thing only.
Right. But the cast is actually pretty stacked. You got David Harbour, Michael Pena, Jason Fleming, Naomi Gonzalez, Ava Morrell. You know, there's actually quite a few big notable names in here. And Sylvester Stallone originally wrote the script, right? This was originally supposed to be a Sylvester Stallone film that he did, but then he stepped out of it. But it is still under Balboa Productions.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. got to get some.
I mean, Jason
Yes, it's
Statham
fun
and
movie.
Stallone are friends, right? They work together on
Yeah.
The Expendables, so you know.
But it's just a fun film.
Mm-hmm.
Same adventures, same concept.
It's
Let's just
based
keep
on
going.
an actual novel, 2014 novel, Levon's Trade by Chuck Dixon.
Okay.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. It's okay, so who's distributing it? It's all right, it's being distributed in the US by MGM, but overseas by Warner Brothers. I don't know how
So
that works.
That means it's going to be on Amazon.
Yeah, it's going to be on
Is it-
Amazon first, right? It's
Yeah.
going to be on. It's going to premiere on Amazon Prime. So date wise, March 28th, it'll be released on Amazon Prime. So this movie's not coming to theaters. But will it also be on Max if overseas? Then I guess.
I don't
I mean-
think so. Not right at first. Probably like a couple
Well, that's-
weeks
It
later.
always
Well, I don't know how
confuses
they're
me
doing
because
this.
some movies will come out here on Prime and then overseas it'll be released on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
Or something because
Yeah.
like streamers are different overseas. So for
Yeah, you
our,
have-
our
yeah.
overseas
You have to
audience,
look
it
at-
might be
you
a
have to
different.
Look at the international distribution and then whatever deal
Right,
they have.
and that's Warner Brothers, so I'm assuming Max.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
so for those of you looking in England and whatnot, wanting to watch your fellow countryman whoop some ass, you might want to look on Max. But all right, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off before, Jamie. What were you going to say?
I don't remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a Jason Statham movie. It looks awesome. I saw the trailer. I was like, this is awesome. You know, the man. How old is Jason Statham now? Let's see here.
Can you
He
like
was
50 now?
57. So the man's almost
57?
so he's the same age as Cruise, or is Tom Cruise 60 now?
He's
I
a
think
little
Tom
bit older.
Cruise is 60.
Yeah, he's a little bit older.
Who do you think would win in a fight, Statham or Cruise?
Statham.
Statham. It's not even a contest.
It's not. It's really not.
You forget Tom Cruise has the power of Scientology behind him.
Yeah.
Who knows what kind of ray guns and alien DNA he has coursing through his blood.
He has to have somewhere. I don't know.
Right. All right. Well, again, those the film is coming out on March 28th, so the end of the month, on Amazon Prime for you people in the United States, and most likely Max or something equivalent overseas.
Wait, you guys talked about the Electric State, right?
Nope, not yet.
No.
Just wait.
Okay, never mind.
We gotta-
That was on first on the list, so I wasn't sure if you went over it.
Nope, I did
No,
the
he's
movies
kinda
that
jumping around.
I did the movies that you didn't really like first.
Oh,
All right.
that was smart.
Yeah. So next up on the list, Novocaine.
Yeah.
I want to see this simply because I like Jack Quaid.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I do think it's funny that like just because you can't feel pain doesn't mean that
Well,
you can't get hurt really bad.
It's Kick-Ass, right?
Yeah. But
mean,
he doesn't have like
Kick-Ass,
any
he couldn't feel anything
superpowers to
either.
that.
Yeah, but Kick-Ass, he didn't have powers either. He was just a
Did he?
no.
Okay,
He
I
was
don't-
just
I
a
don't- I haven't
normal
seen-
nerd who just couldn't feel pain because of that accident he was in. So
Yeah.
Novocaine is, I mean, he didn't get into an accident to get this ability,
No.
as far as I know.
But there's some implication in those like that trailer that he's like invincible because of this. I'm like, no, you'll still bleed out. You just won't feel it.
Right. Yeah. No.
Well,
like,
and
it
that's
looks
why
like
the
by the end of the trailer,
yeah.
he's pretty much dead. Like he's dying.
Yeah.
Well, even like in real life, there's a condition. What is it? Congenital insensitivity to pain. Most of those people don't always live that long because they're unable to be aware
Yeah.
of when they hurt themselves.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Well, quick
Yeah.
premise is Nathan Kane is a mild-mannered introvert with a rare disorder, congenital insensitivity to pain, CIP,
Hey there.
who must
Okay, so-
rescue his girlfriend who has been taken hostage in a bank. They're fridging a lot of girls in recent action movies, if you've noticed, right? Oh, we lost Steve's video.
I don't know why.
Did we
He'll
lose?
be back. There you
lose-
go.
There you go.
What just happened? I don't even know what happened. I touched my screen and then everything went away. Okay, there we go.
There you go. No, so if you notice in a lot of videos or a lot of movies coming out, it's always the girlfriend or the wife being kidnapped, constantly kidnapped. I mean, I get it that sex trafficking is a huge social and political whatever topic, right? Because it is a big deal that it's been, you know, it's not that it's just suddenly been happening. You know, this has been going on for quite a while, but
it's been going on forever.
The deep rooted you know, how the people involved, you know, coming to light, like with P. Diddy recently, you know, and stuff like that. It's like all our heroes are like suddenly turning out to be these kind of people, and that's a little scary, a little shitty, you know what I mean? So
imagine being a female in this world.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I was to say, like, a lot of my heroes aren't male, so I haven't had this issue.
Well,
just
I'm a female living in this world.
But it feels like with the plots though of movies, they're fridging
they're
a lot of
for,
women. I feel like it's not passing the Bechdel test there anytime soon.
No, but they are. But I mean, the whole major theme is, oh no, my wife or significant other is being taken away. Of course, that's the drive. It hits viscerally. So
I guess I would just love a film to really have a different motivation. I guess for the guy he wants to stop crime simply because crime sucks. You know what I mean? And he can. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be with my wife died or got kidnapped or, you know, I mean, it works in some cases, like The Punisher. Huh?
Yeah.
What makes a lot of men tick? What is their one thing that will get them to see red and
protective instincts?
Yeah.
Taking what's yours. Yeah, I know. I get it.
Like, it's a common concept that we have, but at the same time, yes, I agree with you. It'd be nice.
Well, that's why I always like John Wick, because it was about the dog. I know that wife passed.
Exactly.
The dog.
At least it was well, it started with the dog, then it was the car, then it was just because people keep pissing him off.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful who you piss off in this world.
Yeah, you know. I don't you know, speaking of John Wick, we're going to talk more about this next month, but the ballerina film coming out. I don't know if I really excited for the spin-offs in there. I mean, John Wick had 4 good films. That's it. Let the franchise go. You know, we don't need a ton of spin-offs in this world, because I watched that show, The Continental, and that wasn't really it wasn't really good or anything, you know. The world is kind of done. Leave it to the comics.
Well, they're gonna milk it until they don't get any money. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And a half-naked Ana de Armas is definitely going to bring in money, so unfortunately we're going to get a sequel to that.
I mean, she's a good actress, so that I'm excited about that, but I don't know if they have the story.
Sometimes.
I don't know if Keanu Reeves is sometimes a good actor too.
True.
He's not
very
always.
True.
But yeah, I'll check it out, I think. I hope they got, as long as it's about the action or sequences in those movies anyway. So as long as they got that, then it's at least something.
Very true. I mean, that's what the good thing about the John Wick films was. The plot didn't really matter. It was just about the choreographed, you know.
Yeah, the orchestration of the action sequences is just insane in those films. It's great.
But back to Novocaine. Film stars Jack Quaid, obviously. Amber Midthunder, who I believe was in Prey, right? That's the main.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's
Ray Nicholson, so Jack Nicholson's son.
Okay.
Jacob Batalon, who is Ned, right, from Spider-Man.
I don't remember what the guy's name is.
Yeah, Jacob Batalon. I think that's Ned from Spider-Man. Betty Gabriel and Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh sounds familiar, but I've never heard of Betty Gabriel. Oh, Matt Walsh. Yeah, okay, I know that asshole. Or I shouldn't say he's an asshole. He plays an asshole in a movie. Oh, Betty Gabriel. Yeah, I know her too. She was in. I want to say she was in what we were talking about before, the Blink Twice.
Oh, her. Yeah, she was in the.
Oh, she was in Jack Ryan. Yeah, I know her from Jack Ryan. She played the CIA person who took over.
She was in Upgrade, Purge Election Year. Yeah, okay, I've seen.
I mean, she has a very simple name. Like it's not very Hollywood name.
She's a character actor, so she kind of blends in, which is cool.
Right. Like, yep. Anyways, so the cast is actually pretty decent. Film comes out March 14th, distributed by Paramount, so definitely Paramount Plus, Amazon Prime. I don't know if this. I mean, I'm assuming this movie's coming to theaters first. It doesn't say
Yeah.
otherwise.
Well,
Usually
guess
on here it'll say if it's coming. Oh yeah, no, scheduled to be released
yeah, March
nationwide
14th.
March 14th. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it will come to theaters first on March 14th. Yeah, I mean, it looks like an action-packed fun ride. I mean, I don't know if the plot is going to be deep. People are going to, it's going to be one of those movies that after you watch it, you're going to forget about it in a year, But I would say we're only starting the year now, 2025, for a March offering. That's good. I mean, I'm definitely hyped. It'll get me hyped for summer blockbuster action-packed movies,
Mhm.
between this and Jason Statham's Working Man,
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Black Bag. This is a film, Jamie, you were talking about?
No, I messaged you this morning saying this gives me Mr. and Mrs. Smith vibes.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Ooh, Michael Fassbender and Kate Blanchett.
Oh yeah, that's what I
And Naomi Harris. I just saw them do an interview, or Naomi Harris do an interview about this on Graham Norton.
like. I like the cast, and it is Soderbergh, so there might be something there. But I think the trailer looked a little generic.
It did, and like I said, it gives me that Mr. and Mrs. Smith kind of thing because it's like a wife and husband pitted against each other because
Yeah.
of national security. It's like, okay, the Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that was because the companies found out that they're
Well, from what I got from the interview from Naomi Harris on Graham Norton was that this film is a like who done it mystery more sense. So like you don't know who in the government is playing for what side type of film. Like and so the rest of the film is like, trying to figure that out. Like the whole reason the film is called Black Bag is because everybody has all these secrets, not just the two main characters, but like all the secrets from her handlers and whatever else.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess yeah. Spy thrillers, I would say they're very hard to pull off. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because there's just too many tropes that are recycled a lot of times.
Right.
Yeah. So.
But according to this, they don't even have a plot listed.
No, they don't.
So well, that's that. Yeah. So it's a it's a whodunit thriller. I guess somebody is going to get killed or somebody's been betraying whatever agency, and all these people have to figure it out. But it's got a decent cast: Kate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender, Naomi Harris, Pierce Brosnan. Hey, James Bond himself is in this.
That's probably like the one redeeming quality.
Steven Soderbergh directed, and they filmed it in London. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, if you're into the spy genre, I like spy movies, but again, like I said,
I don't usually, but I do like Soderbergh.
Right, 8 out of 10 of them are usually bad. They're usually very surface level bullshit, But the film comes out on March 14th, distributed by Focus Features and Universal. So we'll be in theaters and then eventually on Amazon Prime. And
probably Peacock.
He directed this at the same time he directed Presence. That's interesting. Have you seen Presence yet?
No, I haven't. That's on my list. That's out, right?
Yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be. It's very it's very interesting because they did it in first person. But
that was a pitch. That was a pitch I gave you. Remember about a ghost, first person ghost?
Yeah. Yeah. Remember our film Doll, where we wanted to do a first person slasher film or a torture film from the victim. Yeah. Anyways, but no, the way they do it, it works in some aspects, but it doesn't work in some other ones because the problem with first person is, on one hand, it puts you in the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're experiencing the terror and whatever the fear and stuff like that from through the eyes of the person,
POV.
right? But the emotional moments don't hit because you can't see the actor acting unless they're standing in front of a mirror or something. So
Sometimes that can
it
hit harder,
loses
though.
that. Well, it loses that aspect because otherwise it's just the screen shaking and somebody going sad crying noises. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't work the same way. You know. And the score was underwhelming. It did not support the film very well. So, but anyways, hoping this will be good. Again, March 14th, all theaters, and then eventually on streaming on Prime. All right, moving on to Queen of the Ring. Anybody?
We
Oh,
can
that's-
finally get some female power going
Yeah,
on.
well, that's what I think I probably wrote that. That's the wrestling one, right? With the
Yes.
true story wrestler.
Yep. The
Yeah.
film chronicles the life of revolutionary female wrestler Mildred Burke in a time when pro wrestling for women was illegal all over the country. A small town single mother embraces the danger to change culture as she dominates America's most masculine sport to become the first $1 million female athlete in history.
Let's have some
Alright.
girl
And
power.
she's played
for a
by
change.
Emily Bett Rickards.
Yes, that was Felicity Smoke in Arrow.
Oh,
I liked her.
okay.
Yeah.
She looks
Josh
buff
Lucas is
as
also in it.
hell in the fucking poster. I'm looking at the poster and she's got rippling on top of rippling.
Yeah.
Well,
I did do
she
like a
actually
double take.
trains hard in that one.
Hmm.
Like,
Okay. I'm definitely in. Again, as we touched on before, I'm a big sucker for sports dramas.
Yeah.
I don't really like sports like that and real, but I love the dramas about them.
but put it back into like 1935, and there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's that when this takes place.
I do believe so.
Oh, okay.
I don't. It doesn't tell me on my screen, so it just told me.
I just knew it was this true story. I didn't actually look at the year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
there's
is based
real
on the
picture
true
of her.
story.
Yeah,
I do believe it's in like 1935.
Oh.
interesting, and it's based on a book or like true story, but the book, the script is written based on the book, "The Queen of the Ring: Sex, Muscles, Diamonds, and the Making of an American Legend" by Jeff Lean.
Yes.
What a title! What a title!
You got to figure what females go. through
Deborah
in order
Ann
to
Wool
get
is
on
in
the top.
this.
Yes.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, I used to love True Blood, and Jessica
Same.
the Vampire was my crush forever.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Forever.
I
Jessica
think she was like
amazing.
everybody's. And she was also, who did she play in
Jessica
Daredevil?
in Stackhouse for life.
Yeah.
Oh, she plays Karen. In,
Karen, okay, that's what I
Daredevil.
thought. But it always sounds like an insult now when I say someone's Karen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Francesca Eastwood, is she like married? Is she like related to Clint? Yeah, her parent, her dad is Clint Eastwood. Oh, look at that.
Okay.
So Francesca Eastwood is in this. Josh Lucas is a good actor. Tyler Posey's good. Walton Goggins, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a
I
good
can't
one.
wait for Fallout season 2.
Yep. That's what I was thinking.
And Walton Goggins is reprising his role as what's his face from Ant-Man in the upcoming Thunderbolts film too.
That makes sense.
Martin-
He's also in White Lotus, the new season of White Lotus. He's in it.
I still have to watch that. You told me about it last time.
Yep.
Martin Cove, Cara Buono, Britt Baker, Jim Cornette, Damaris Lewis. That's a big cast. It's a huge cast.
Yes.
But yeah, so a film comes out on March 7th. It was previously released previously screened at the Buffalo Film Festival last year, October, but and it got high reviews. So that's good. I mean, that's saying something, and not just critic reviews, but like audience reviews. But yeah, it comes out March 7th. It's distributed by Sumerian Pictures, so I don't know what that means. Probably Prime.
Independent.
Yeah, it'll probably
I
be
think on the trailer it said theaters.
Right. No, it definitely said that it'll come out in theaters, but I mean, I'm saying after that it'll be on Prime, most likely Prime probably.
Yeah.
And
will have it.
whoever, if it's independent, then someone else is probably going to pick it up. Netflix does that a lot.
Netflix, yeah, you're right. I always forget about Netflix. Fuck Netflix.
Yeah.
Sorry, Netflix, if you want to sponsor us,
Yeah.
gladly.
Then yeah.
You know, then we love you, but you know, you ruined so many of my favorite shows by just canceling them after one season that fuck you guys.
Right?
All right, so moving on from Queen of the Ring, Snow White.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Apparently, I'm
reaction
the
I
only
had
one in the.
when I saw the trailer. I was like, yeah.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. It is directed by Mark Webb, and he's a good director. And I know that the Amazing Spider-Man movies, the problem was the script, not the directing. I like
Well, the
Rachel
screenwriter here
Zegler.
is Greta Gerwig, so
Yeah, that was it. I saw that. I'm like, okay, then I'm actually in on that too.
see, I don't
And
like
I
Rachel Zegler. I think she's
well, I
overrated.
do. I like her a lot, but also there was like a backlash because she's Latina playing white, but Latina can be white. Like, so no one cared until they found out she was Latina. Then there was like, she can't be Snow White. I'm like, okay, guys, just grow up.
Well, and then there's also the backlash against what's her face, Gal Gadot, because of
Oh
her
yeah, that's
pro-Israel
that one.
comments
That
during
one
the
I get. That would
Palestine
be
thing. And
that would be the reason I don't see it, if anything. And like they really need to, these Disney live actions at least get better special effects.
here it
You
actually
know what I mean?
cites a major controversy with Zegler's public disapproval of the original film. She called the original film shitty, misogynistic, and dated.
Is she not? She's not wrong.
Yeah, but it's a fairy tale. You can't just shit on them like that.
It's
You can say
Disney
that a
Okay,
film
here,
hasn't
story.
aged well, and at least that would have been.
Yeah, like I agree. Her wording probably wasn't the
Yeah.
smartest. We say stuff like that all the time when you're critiquing, but it doesn't mean we like American Pie 2 didn't age well, but I still love that film. I can critique it honestly, still enjoy it. That's what we do.
I mean, I love Wedding Crashers, and that movie has a lot of problems.
Yep, yeah, for a good example, yeah.
You know, but
Like bash completely on the
yeah,
story.
to
Yeah, it is
completely
weird.
bash
Going
Snow White.
back.
I gotta know, did she say that before or after she was cast?
It was after she was cast.
Ooh.
And she was doing the press tour. Exactly. She kind of.
I bet you Disney was like strike one, you know.
Yeah, right. We're never using Zegler again. Sorry.
We're like, yeah.
But I don't really recognize a lot of the. I mean, I obviously Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot, but I don't know much of the other ones. Andrew Burnap, Ansu Kabia, Jeremy Swift, Martin Kleba, George Salazar. I don't know any of these people.
I don't know either. But like,
I mean,
with
most
what
of
you
these
guys
guys
are saying-
are voice actors.
Oh,
That's
see, but the
listing
thing
them
is,
as voice
they're
actors
all
for the
character
different
actors. If you look any of them up, you're gonna be like, "Yep, I know him. I've seen him or her."
Right. True.
Yeah.
And like I said, a lot of them are doing voice acting.
Yeah.
So they might be famous for that kind of stuff, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I will see this when it comes to Disney Plus. That's what I'm gonna do. But for those of you who can't wait, March 21st is the National Theater release date. Obviously, Walt Disney Pictures is distributing it, so it will be a major theater release, and then probably, depending on its reception, shortly thereafter will be on Disney Plus.
We'll see.
You know, they'll put it on there for where you can buy it, you know, or whatever to watch it at home.
But I mean, people are just sick of the live action in general because they're like,
well, because
soullessness.
Right, they're soulless. They don't have they every time a live action comes out, they lose all the whimsy.
Right.
Yeah. Well, not always, but yeah, that's kind of been the trend lately.
Right. I have no problem. Like I would, and the other thing is like redoing or live actions of like modern Disney films, like they want to do Frozen and now Moana and stuff. That's stupid to me. Yeah, they need to wait. Like, why don't you do Sleeping Beauty from like 1930s? You know what I mean?
That's also why
Snow White.
Snow White.
Exactly, because it's from the 1940s, right? 1930s or whatever, even earlier, maybe 1920s.
Or like when they did like the Lion King, there's no point in doing it because it is animated. You know what I mean? It's just
right. Jungle Book was different because Jungle Book was at least creative. Right.
Yeah.
But the film itself was very creative and very well done. John Favreau
And
nailed it. You know.
that's kind of what I want to see because I liked Cinderella. They did a really good job with that one too.
Right. I didn't like Beauty and the Beast. I'm so sad about that movie.
I was torn on it. I just didn't like. It was so obvious. Emma Watson was sitting in a green screen like half the time.
And her so on the nose commentary. Like the film is already about sexism and stuff like that. They didn't really need to add the super on the nose commentary from from Belle's perspective. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we already know Gaston is a piece of shit. It's very obvious through his actions. You know, we didn't need like Belle to explain it to us. You know, right? We didn't need her to explain it to us. Like we got.
I mean, I don't necessarily mind that because I mean, it's not a good trope, but like they do it with male-centered things too, where they kind of ham-fist it.
Yeah, I don't like the expository dialogue.
No, I don't either. But like, I'm not. It goes both ways in that.
But also, Beauty and the Beast again suffered from the no whimsy. I wanted the colorful, you know, furniture characters coming to life and doing all their dances, and none of that was really in the film. You know, it didn't.
Like I said, by doing live action stuff like that, where it's so photorealistic, it does drain that whimsy out of it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So it kind of took away from it.
You just leave it as a cartoon. It's good.
Right.
Yeah. Or at least know how to translate it better.
Right.
But certain things like Beauty and the Beast and all like Lumiere and Mrs. Potts and all that, that's going to be hard to.
So,
yeah, you'd have to figure out a kind of way to balance.
How do you feel that all the dwarves now in Snow White are CG?
Yeah, I don't know how if they shouldn't have, because then you just look and go, that's CG dwarves. Like,
yeah, why didn't they just hire little people to do it?
Right.
I think they were trying to go with a cartoony character design,
which they could have with some makeup effects. I mean, look at Hook, right? From the 90s,
I agree with
right?
you on that. I think the studio's overdoing CG is a huge problem.
Or The Hobbit, right? The Hobbit is literally dwarves, right? And they gave them rosy cheeks and bulbous noses and did the whole dwarf thing, you know?
Yep.
They could have done that easily with this. The money that they spent on CG for it, they could have cut that even in half.
Yeah, I know. That would have actually probably. The funny thing is they probably had people mocapping, so they were still paying actors.
Exactly. I'm not a big fan that they CG'd the dwarfs. I was like, this is weird.
No.
And I mean, Peter Dinklage really didn't like that. Like he went on a fucking tirade.
Blame him?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, he went a little overboard with I get the stereotype thing, the argument, you know, and I do agree with him on the sense that why don't they cast more little people in other roles? Like they cast Dinklage as what's his face in X-Men, right?
X-Men,
you know, as a regular character. It wasn't about being a shorter
which
character.
I thought was great.
That's great. And I wish they would do that more often. So I do agree with him on that. But when the story calls for it, then they should cast a little person in that role. I think so.
Right.
You know, or if anything, then do the Lord of the Rings / Hobbit trick with the forced perspective stuff. You know, but whatever. So Snow White comes out on March 21st in the major theaters. Any last thoughts about it before I move on?
No.
All right. Moving on to The Electric State. Here you go, Steve.
Okay, this one I'm actually pretty excited for because I have just read the graphic novel, not even knowing this was coming out, and the graphic novel looks like movie storyboard.
Give everybody a plot synopsis real quick first.
Okay, so it's a dystopian, obviously, in the future, and this girl is looking for her brother, and she's got a little pal robot with them called Kid Cosmo. So it's a really simple story.
That's cute.
And I mean the aesthetic actually looks kind of Fallout-ish. And there, of course, there are a bunch of robots and giant monsters and all that stuff too. So
I like it already.
So clearly they fleshed some things out because like she's not with anybody, but in the movie I noticed Chris Pratt and they have the military and all that. So, well, we'll see how it goes though.
Oh wow, yeah, there's a lot of people: Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Ke Kwan, Stanley Tucci, Woody Norman, Giancarlo Esposito, hey, Jason Alexander, hey, holy shit, I haven't seen him in anything.
Yeah, the cast looks really good. And Martin there is in the graphic novel, there are random like where they'll give you little like backstory of things that have happened.
Brian
so I'm sure that
Cox,
they're pulling from, but yeah, it looks great.
Alan
And
Tudyk, Hank Azaria, Coleman Domingo. Holy shit! Yeah, there's a lot
very
of
nice.
people in this. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just it's a very you don't see a lot of people in the movie. It's just the girl, so Millie Bobby Brown and her robot friend basically through most of the movie as she's venturing to find her brother. So it's just, but that's clearly part of the plot in that.
Yeah,
so
most of the actors that are appearing in the film look like they're playing some sort of villain role.
That kind of makes sense. They're probably like
Yeah.
military.
Yeah, but it's directed by the Russos, which is awesome.
Yeah,
And
which is
the only thing that worries me is it's a Netflix production, so it's going to have that Netflix color palette.
Which, if you've read the graphic novel, actually kind of works for it.
Does it?
It looks like if you watch the trailer, I don't know, if you pull up the graphic state, if they the graphic state
very
graphic novel, kind of look at the art.
dull.
Hmm.
Like, even when you look at the trailers, they're dull.
Okay.
So it doesn't feel like it gives you enough of like the interpretation from like one of the graphic novels.
Hang on,
I'm looking at it right now.
Actually, when I saw the trailer, I just kind of saw the design itself. It didn't seem washed out to me.
It's a Swedish graphic novel.
Yeah.
Set in an alternate technologically ravaged 1990s.
A better time.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This sounds pretty bad.
Oh no, it's bad.
I was saying the 1990s.
Oh yeah, the
general.
1990s were a great time, but no, like this, not this alternate reality one. This sounds pretty bad. Like sounds interesting to read, not badly written or anything, but it sounds like a shit show to live in. Yeah, no, it looks good, but again, like I don't know, the Netflix, aesthetic just. It always looks so cheap. Like they use cheap. I know they have nice cameras. It's not that they don't have good cameras, like quality stuff, but it just always has this kind of cheap look to it. Which again, as you said, works in some favors. Like Cobra Kai looks amazing, right?
Yeah.
But it kind of, I feel like it negatively affected The Last Airbender, for example, right? The show. It kind of gave everything this washed out kind of look to it, because even in the colorful mode. Yeah,
I always assumed it was like a filter for Netflix, so you're like, that's a Netflix production or something. I don't know.
Right, and it makes colors kind of mute. Even when they're very bright and neon, they still look mute somehow. I don't know, or too dark, or I don't know. Like
That's interesting. I always felt like there was more vibrant, like oddly vibrant in certain. I don't know. Of course, I have bad eyes, so who knows?
That's
true. Bad eyes too.
Look at us all with our glasses on. Well, you can't see me. I can see you guys.
It always feels.
Well, and I have to change glasses just to be on screen.
But yeah, so this film comes out. It was premiered at Grauman's Egyptian Theater on February 24th, and it releases nationwide March 7th. Yeah, which I'm assuming after its runtime will come to Netflix.
Holy shit! Have you seen the budget? 320 million. That would be one of the biggest budget films ever.
It is the Russos, though.
Yeah, they
Endgame and Infinity War and everything they've done since. Is like, here, just take our money.
Yeah, probably.
And on top of that, you got Stephen McFeely writing the script. So
yeah, Winter Soldier. Yep.
Yeah. So
actually, that's probably where a lot of the budget went because it was paying them.
I always wondered that when you have like a brother duo directing team, do they get more money than a normal, like a single director would, or do they get the same amount, just have to split it between the two? Like, do they each get paid separately or do they get paid as one unit?
I was under the impression it was one unit when you're a duo.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, there's advantages. You have another director working with you, so there is it's a little bit easier, I guess.
Right, Steve, you need to get unbusy so you can help me direct the next short film.
Okay, then I need to stop writing all the time.
We already covered that at the beginning of the stream, that we're hiring somebody.
You did?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so yeah, any more thoughts on it?
No, but I'm excited. But so that's my last thought.
All right. So again, that's March 7th. So 6 days from now, be on the lookout for this one. The Electric State. All right. We're moving on to the final film, Mickey 17. What do you feel about this one? Anybody want to take it?
You got anything, Jamie, on that?
I feel like it's something that we've seen before, but I can't place it.
Yeah, I was kind of that same way, but I really like, is it Bong Joon-ho, the director?
Yeah.
Yes.
For he did Parasite, like he's just really good. So I'm more, and Pattinson's showed that he can do. He's really good.
Yeah. Outside of Twilight, he's pretty good.
Yeah, like pretty much everything, right? So it's for them, it's for the director and Pattinson, where I'm like, okay, I'm interested in this.
It is a
Well,
very.
you also have Toni Collette and Mark Ruffalo in it.
Yeah, that too. Those are
And Stephen Yeun, fucking.
Yep.
From
can't think
Walking
of his
Dead,
name.
he got his head smashed in.
Yeah, I know.
Glenn.
Glenn, yeah, obviously. Glenn.
All right, but for a quick recap, premise is wanting to get off Earth, the financially destitute Mickey Barnes signs up to be an expendable, a disposable clone worker on the human colony Niflheim. As an expendable, Mickey undertakes several dangerous assignments he is not expected to survive, with a new body being regenerated each time he dies. So it's kind of like the movie Moon, if you remember Moon.
But then at some point, there becomes two of them.
During one such assignment, one of his clones, Mickey 17, is incorrectly assumed dead and prematurely replaced. Mickey 17 finds his way back to the colony and meets his replacement, Mickey 18. Under the rules of the colony, only one iteration of an expendable may exist at a time. So if Mickey 17 is discovered, both he and 18 will be destroyed. Both the previous and current version of Mickey Barnes have to grapple with the nature of being expendables and fight back against the oppressive leaders governing the colony. But yeah, there's a film that came out way back in like 2009 called Moon with who is that? He's a big actor. Moon.
I'm trying to think.
Film.
The story
2009. Moon was.
Right? It almost sounds like What
Sam
About
Rockwell,
Monday?
where he goes to the starring Sam Rockwell, where he's basically working on the moon, and then every time he dies, a new clone is made.
I remember that one.
Right?
Yes,
and then,
that's where it is.
And then eventually he runs into a clone of himself who didn't
Yes.
die because they survived in the little truck or whatever, and then whatever, and then he figures out, holy shit, I'm a clone. I'm like, he didn't know he was being cloned, you know, and so on and so forth. And he didn't know that he also didn't know that he was up. He thought he was up there for a year, you know. He didn't know he was up there for like 20 years.
It's also like Rick and Morty.
Right. No, but going back to Mickey 17, I mean, a lot of people are talking about this one. It did a whatchamacallit, its circuit on the international Berlin Film Fest, the Berlin International Film Festival, and and then it was put on hold because of the SAG-AFTRA strikes. But it did actually already open in South Korea on February 28th. But we are getting it on March 7th. So again, in 6 days. Yeah, holy shit. There's a lot of stuff coming out on the 7th. But it is coming out on March 7th, and Warner Brothers is distributing it, so major release, and then eventually on HBO Max. It stars Robert Pattinson, Naomi Ackie, Stephen Yeun, Mark Ruffalo, Toni Collette, Holiday Granger, Thomas Turgoose, I guess, Angus Imrie, Cameron Britton, Patsy Farron, Daniel Henshaw, Steve Park, and Tim Key. And yes, it's directed by Bong Joon-ho, and it's a long-ass film too, 137 minutes, so that's a little bit over 2 hours.
I mean, that's 2 hours and 17, so that's not too bad.
But
that's horrible.
But it's also not a tight, 90-minute film. You know what I mean? Thriller.
No.
It's definitely going to be one of those, whatever, artsy. I would say artsy, but that's. I'm not trying to say that the film is, whatever, full of itself. But sometimes bloated runtimes in certain films give that effect. They don't have enough to say in the film. and then you're just watching scenery, and it's like, man, I can do this on a nature documentary. But yeah, it looks good. I keep seeing trailers for it, but at the same time, I actually never sat down and actually looked up the plot for it. So this is the first time I'm actually going, oh shit, well, it's like that movie, you know. However, what I'm curious about is like a lot of these kind of films, is it going to be a serious drama or is it going to be a dramedy with quirky comedic elements in it? I'd rather have it be a dramedy. Like I want the
comedic relief.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about like The Host and even Parasite, there's a lot of humor in both of those films.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, because I don't want one of those dry, super serious dramas.
Well, no, that's why
this then it would get stale, I think, after the first few clones.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, anything you guys want to add to it?
I think that's it.
Nope.
All right, well, that does it for our movies. Now we're moving on to series coming out. And we're gonna.
I didn't look up half of these. I only looked up 2.
Well, that's fine. I can wiki him here, but we're gonna start off with Daredevil Born Again, because obviously, who doesn't want to see this? This looks amazing. You know,
I still have yet to see season 1.
Oh Jesus!
Or 2. Wait, was there 2 or 3 seasons?
3, because this is season 4.
Yeah, right? This is season 4.
Technically season 4. So you're a little way behind, but D'Onofrio returns as Kingpin.
Yeah.
Love it. He is he was perfect in that role. Charlie Cox as Daredevil, always nailing it. You know, of course, you got Foggy returning and Karen returning. You know, and even Punisher, John Bernthal making his reappearance, so he's definitely back in the MCU. Hopefully this leads to season 3 of the Punisher.
Oh, they're doing that. Did you hear that they're doing a present? So he's gonna have like a movie on Disney Plus.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. You know what I mean? Doesn't need to be a show. Absolutely. As long as I get more Punisher, that's all I want. You know, I want to see him fuck some shit up. Let me. I know that I think it's March 14th, but just in case, Daredevil Born Again comes out on March 4th. Oh shit! So in 3 days. 3 days, yeah. It's the first episode, or the first 2 episodes will drop on March 4th.
Oh yeah, that's why, because they're not all at once.
Yeah. So that is
exciting.
Exciting, exactly. I mean, I've been looking for. I mean, right now I'm pretty much watching Severance, Invincible, School Spirits, and Reacher. That's it. Those are the 4 shows that I'm watching. I watch Reacher because big dumb turn brain off action. I watch Invincible because it's actually really well done. What do you say? Dismantling of the superhero tropes and whatnot. Yeah. You know, School Spirits is a cute little ghost teen show. You know, like heavy on the romantic drama, but you know, it's also got the teen mystery Scooby-Doo gang type thing going on.
Yeah, I think that's why I threw that in my list.
And Severance is just fucking amazing. Severance. Yeah. I mean, there's people out there who will like watch the first 2 episodes and go, this show is crap. Why is everybody talking about it? I'll admit, the first like 2 or 3 episodes, I was like, man, what is this? It's an interesting concept, but it's boring. It's really whatever. But then once it ramps up, you're just like, holy shit. You know? The mystery box starts to unfold and you're like, there's a bunch of little boxes in here, you know, and you just keep going with it. And so I definitely recommend checking those out. But
you said that's on Prime, right?
Severance is as Apple. You can find it on Prime though if you have the extension. I think you can watch the first few episodes for free on Prime though. And then but now with Daredevil coming out, you know, that sounds, you know, whatever, like right up my alley, you know, something else to because Severance and Invincible and stuff, they're all on like episode 6 or 7, so their season is coming to an end, and then so it's good to have another show to jump into. Um,
I'm gonna talk. Wait, what's next on the list? Because there is one other one that I'm excited about.
hold on.
It's that.
The
Okay, yeah.
studio.
Sorry.
I'm
I just had to make
pulling up all the things. So is there anything you? Happy face. Is there anything coming? Anything you want to say else about Daredevil?
I'm so fucking excited.
Yes, yes. And I'm very, very excited also to see his new, because they're not doing they're not doing the original suit, and they're not doing the yellow and brown suit that they did in She-Hulk, but they've got the black suit where he had the red letters, like it was like kind of like a dark red or whatever, or black almost, right, with the red lettering on it. So they're doing his shit has hit the fan suit, So I'm very they haven't shown it in any of the trailers, but they talked about it on set that they're doing that from the Frank Miller and Kevin Smith Daredevil comics. So I'm like, oh fuck yes, I'm hyped. All right, so moving on. Well, again, March starts March 4th, so make sure you tune in. Disney Plus, right? And the show is for you parents out there. The show is TV mature. It will have nudity, violence, and swearing in it, so it's not for kids. Unless you don't give a shit, then it's fine.
Right.
Next up is The Studio.
Yes, that was the one that I wanted to. That one I'm excited about.
It's a comedy series created by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. The series focuses on the struggles of Matt Remick, the newly appointed head of a fictional Continental Studios, as he attempts to save the floundering company in an industry undergoing rapid social and economic changes. I mean, it just sounds like it's tailor-made for what's going on in the United States. all the social and political and whatever commentary going on in the United States. This show sounds like it's basically that, but in a comedy, like they're going to make fun of all of it, which is great.
Yeah.
A little bit of lighthearted, not super serious,
Well, I was a pretty big fan of Entourage, so I'm hoping it's a little bit like that, except maybe not as dramatic, I guess. The Entourage got kind of soapy.
Never watched it.
Okay.
Except for I've seen the movie, I think.
Okay. Well, the movie was probably the worst.
Yeah. That's why I never watched the show.
Yeah.
I from what I've seen of the trailers for The Studio, is it's very dry, sarcastic humor, and very they don't have like let's say the punchline is the quiet moments of you realizing what just happened instead of them dropping like an actual punchline, which I like that kind of humor. You know what I mean? Where you have to catch it, you have to catch the joke. They won't remind you, like of the joke, which is great. But main cast wise, Seth Rogen, Catherine O'Hara, Catherine Hahn, Ike Barinholtz, and Chase Sue Wonders. Great, awesome cast. I love it. They're all nerds. They're all they can all play these very eccentric characters. Love it.
Yeah.
But the guest stars, Bryan Cranston, Rebecca Hall, Paul Dano, Zac Efron, Ron Howard, Zoe Kravitz, Anthony Mackie, Martin Scorsese, Charlize Theron, Steve Buscemi, Olivia Wilde, Adam Scott, Peter Berg, Johnny Knoxville, and Josh Hutcherson. Holy shit. That's a lot of major Hollywood talent right there playing themselves in a ridiculous fictional way.
That's what I mean by like Entourage, because that's what Entourage did.
Right. I'm excited. I mean, the only other one that I would compare it to besides Entourage would be anything Larry David did, like Curb Your Enthusiasm and shit. Larry David is very good at doing that too.
Larry Sanders Show.
Yes. It's I'm looking forward to it. I like this kind of stuff. I'm glad that it's not going to be taking itself super serious, because they could have easily done, because I mean, I'm assuming that the writers want to take some sort of, they want to have their opinions out there about things going on in Hollywood and whatnot, but we had enough, let's say, dark clouds going on right now that we don't need more dark clouds TV all the time about it. It would be fun. It would be nice to see somebody just shooting the shit and kind of joking about it.
See, this is why I watch sitcoms, man.
Yeah. I can't get into many sitcoms. They're all
You
the
know.
same after a while. But anybody else? Anything you want to add to it?
No, I don't think so. No.
The show will be coming out on March 26th for Apple TV Plus. So, which again, if right now Prime is doing an Apple TV trial thing, 14 days. So if you want to check it out, but you don't want to, if you don't not sure about getting Apple TV, you know, to be honest, right now Apple TV, I don't like Apple products. I'm going to state that right off the bat. But Apple TV is killing it with shows right now. Holy shit! The quality of shows that they're putting out, they are nailing it. Like there's another show coming out, but we won't talk about this until like next month or the month after. I think May. Reese Witherspoon is like her production company is making a couple of shows with Anne Hathaway and shit. Oh my god, some of that stuff looks amazing.
There's going to be another season of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, which I loved. So.
Yes, that too. Oh, Anna Sawai is. Oh, she's my other crush. Going, got Peyton List. Got oh my god, too many Hollywood crushes. Too many. If you're out there though, hit
calm
me up.
down. Calm down now.
Let's, I'm down for a date anytime. All right. So again, that's March 26th on Apple TV. So moving on, we are now Your Friends and Neighbors. You guys heard of this one?
No.
All right.
Yeah, sorry.
I did hear about it, but it kind of.
It's one of those. It's one of those quirky kind of comedies. John Hamm stars as Coop, a New York hedge fund manager who is recently divorced and becomes unemployed. He uses criminal methods to maintain his lifestyle and keep his family living to the standard to which they've become accustomed.
That actually sounds pretty funny.
It's Breaking Bad without the meth. He's actually more bank and blue collar crime, but
I really like to see I like seeing John Hamm in comedic roles because he's
exactly
really
that's what drew me in. So show stars John Hamm, Olivia Munn, Amanda Peet, Mark Tallman, Hoon Lee, Lena Hall, Amy Carrero, Isabel Gravit, Donovan Colin, and Eunice Bay. I don't know some of those last ones, but I definitely know the first four.
I haven't seen Amanda Peet in a while.
No, right? I thought she retired or something, but no. But either way, cast is amazing. Again, it's an Apple TV product, so they are definitely putting some money behind it, which is great. However, I accidentally put this in the March list. It looks like recently.
I just thought it was April.
Yeah, it's not coming out until April 11th. It
recently got pushed back till April 11th. So, oops, whatever. It was supposed to come out in March, according to this. The original premiere date was March 14th, but then they had to do some reshoots here, where they added some new people to the cast. So it got pushed back to April 11th. They originally started filming this in December 2023. Holy shit.
Yeah, that just shows the writer's strike.
Yeah, the writer's strike hit it pretty hard.
All of that.
But either way, looks good. Looks interesting. I like criminal comedies and stuff like this. So, it's very, from the trailer, it's very sarcastic. Very, if you like shows like Kidding from Michel Gondry, sorry. Or so, it's that kind of sense of humor. It's like almost dark undertones, but it's
I like
Gondry. But it's sarcastic on top. So definitely check this one out. But again, it's not March; it's April 11th on Apple TV. Next up on the list, Happy Face. Dennis Quaid plays a serial killer. Absolutely,
Happy Face killer.
Yeah, the Happy Face killer. So. I mean, I'm absolutely in on that alone because after watching Substance and watching him do that creepy ass grin that he does to Demi Moore,
he did play Ronald Reagan, so that's pretty creepy.
That too, right? Yeah, exactly. So I am 100% in Dennis Quaid as the Happy Face killer. I don't know what else to say about that. It looks good. It's also another one of those shows, more of a listed as a dark comedy, so it's gonna have serious elements in it, obviously serial killer stuff, whatever, but think of it more like Dexter, So if you like shows
yeah.
like Dexter or something, they're going to be serious, dramatic, and whatever moments, mixed with some very awkward comedy parts
And dark humor.
and
Yeah.
dark humor. Right. I don't really know any of the other actors in it. I couldn't tell you. I've never even looking at their pictures here. I'm like, James Wolk. I've seen his face before. But some of the other people. Oh, David Harewood. I know him from. He's DC Martian Manhunter from the Arrowverse.
Okay.
So okay. But some of the other actors I don't know. They don't look familiar to me. Anna Lee Ashford.
I've heard the name.
She's in Wicked and Legally Blonde and Hair.
Yeah, Wicked. That was it.
The musical Wicked, yeah. So,
this one will be interesting though because it's off of the Happy Face Killer's daughter's own podcast and autobiographical.
Oh, it's just a true crime. This is a real killer.
From the 1990s.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I literally just saw that. I was like, "Whoa, it's based on a true story."
I did not know that. A Canadian-American serial killer who murdered at least 8 women in the United States during the early 90s. He was known as the Happy Face Killer because he drew smiley faces on his many letters to the media and authorities. Holy shit! Okay, that makes it even better. Now I'm really hyped.
That's why I want to see this one because I used to listen to her podcast, and it's just crazy. So, yeah.
So that means you're ready for some of the stuff that we're about to. You could brace yourself.
Right, you might have to do some breakdowns. Give you some extra writing assignments there. No,
no, Tim, stop.
Right.
But all right, yeah. So this one looks interesting. It's coming out March 20th on Paramount Plus, so definitely available on Amazon Prime as well. It will be 8 episodes, all the way through May. So interesting.
Remember, it was
the reviews seem to be pretty good. At least in the 70s and 80% range. So that's good. I like that. Anything else you want to say about it?
No.
The final one that I have is this is a show I've been meaning to watch. But I haven't actually sat down and actually watched it. It's called Dark Winds. And I hear
so they're season 3, right?
Yeah, I hear really good things about it. I know the actor who plays the main sheriff, Zahn McClarnon. He played in what can I think? Fargo. He was in Fargo, and that's how I first saw him. And then he also played in Prey and Westworld, right?
It says he's in Reservation Dogs as well.
I haven't seen that show either.
I've heard good things about that one, but yeah.
But I heard really good things about Dark Winds, that it's kind of this spooky 1970s homicide detective show. So if you're like a fan of like True Detective, they say you should definitely check this show out. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I really like that. Takes place in the American Southwest, right? So around Navajo land, So it deals with a lot of tribal stuff, and whatever goes on a reservation and stuff in New Mexico.
George R. Martin and Robert Redford are executive producers for Dark Winds.
I don't know about George R. Martin being part of it. I mean, he's good at the political writing stuff, but Robert Redford is an underrated, or not talked enough about, I should say, director or producer. He is really good at the political thriller, even though he's a little heavy on the right leaning sometimes, but he is amazing at what he does. He knows how to pull that out of a scene. But yeah, so I don't, for those of you out there watching the stream here, if you're into Dark Winds, season 3 is coming out on March 9th. And
pretty much everything.
Yeah, where's it streaming on? Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix was the main one, I guess.
So Netflix is the main one. Yeah, so it's streaming Season 3 comes out on Netflix on March 9th, and I really need to catch up. I need to watch the original series. I hear good things. I don't have any other TV shows listed, so are there any shows that you guys want to bring up?
That are releasing this? I don't think there were any. Well, I mean, we talked about the two that I'm excited for.
Right.
Let me
That's
double
the one
check.
that I'm excited for, and God knows how long that's going to take me to watch.
Well, if there's nothing left on shows, we're going to move
Yeah, I
on
think
to
we're
our
done.
game section, which is also pretty small here.
Yeah.
First up, we've got Assassin's Creed Shadows, another entry in the long-running Assassin's Creed franchise. I would have been hyped for this game 15 years ago after the Roman and stuff adventures of Assassin's Creed when I wanted a Japanese themed one, but in the meantime we've got Ghost of Tsushima and all those other games. So I really don't care about the Assassin's Creed version. The only thing that sounds cool is that they've got a real life character in this. Why can't I think of his name? He's known as the Obsidian Samurai. He was basically the first black samurai in history.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
And Yasuke. So I'm kind of curious about that part, but to be honest, the last few Assassin's Creed is just a lot of time wasting. Find the shit on the map, collectathon stuff. I just don't care about that anymore. And if the story is weak, then I really, really don't care about it, So, will I get this game? Maybe if it goes on sale for like $20. Like eventually most of the Assassin's Creed games go really deep on sale, or they get for free on like Game Pass or PlayStation. But otherwise, I wouldn't say this is in my top contenders of games I need to buy.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Are you excited?
I've never played an Assassin's Creed, so I'm.
Oh, okay.
I haven't played one since I don't even know.
I've watched people play.
The original one was really great. Even the first couple of follow-ups were cool, but after that, the series.
When did the original come out?
Oh man, 2001.
Okay, so we were still in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably played that with a couple of the guys.
It was old.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you who are interested, it comes out March 20th for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Microsoft Windows and Mac OS. So be sure to grab it then. Next up, we've got Killing Floor 3. Anybody want to talk about this one?
I don't play video games.
Well, I mean, I play video games, but I saw the list and I'm like, I don't care about any of these.
Well, right now, I can tell you right now, the internet is up in arms. They want Killing Floor 3. They love it.
Then I'm glad.
I played Killing Floor 2 recently on a stream with Kyle. I hated it. I thought that game was garbage. It was dumb. It was very unbalanced. It wasn't very creative looking, and I just didn't like it.
I mean, it was from 2016, just so you know.
Yeah, I don't see the hype for Killing Floor. But for other people who are looking for arena shooters with waves of monsters and whatever, I mean, I guess this is right up their alley.
Yeah, I'm actually not a fan of those anyway.
Yeah, so apparently this already came out. Well, I guess.
Yeah, and already people are saying it's awful.
Yeah,
Really?
People are. Yeah, it looks like it's bad. But I thought this was originally was supposed to come out in March. I guess they released it early or whatever. Oh no, the beta came out. Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Came out on February 20th. The full release is now on
The original one came out in 2009, so that was the first.
Yeah.
First one, and then the one you played was 2016.
Right. And then this one, the beta released on February 20th, and then the full release is March 24th. So whatever, I don't know. I'm not super hyped for it, but for those of you who are, not dissing you, if you like this, we're not all gonna like the same games, but if this is your bag,
tell us about it.
Yeah, chime in, leave us a comment, let us know if we're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, tell us what you like about it, if anything.
Right. Next, I didn't want to do that. Next up is Atom Fall. This
Okay,
one
I got
actually.
a question about this one. Does this look like Fallout?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay.
Fallout, really? I don't see that.
I don't know. I looked it up, and when I read the description, I was like, "That's Fallout S," because it's instead of the 50s, it's the 60s where it starts.
I see. Yeah, okay, I guess. I mean, to me, it looked more like a European countryside, less bombed out or whatever. To
Okay.
me, there's some weird Doctor Whovian elements to this that kind of made me interested in this, you know. But yeah, now that you say that, it's very Fallout like, possibly. So
That's the first thing that I thought even when I saw it, and I really don't play games like that. So
Well, I like I said, I read the description. I was like, okay, it's like I said, Fallout,
yeah,
but
the
instead of
the
the 50s,
the
60s.
premise says it is set in an alternate history 1960s where the wind scale nuclear disasters turned much of northern England into a radioactive quarantine zone. The game is
Yep.
scheduled to release for PlayStation 4, 5, Windows, Xbox One, and Series X on March 27th. To be honest, it actually, you know what it really looks like is Stalker. I don't know if you played Stalker. Stalker is like, the
One that
Russian.
was based on
Yeah.
the movie, right?
The movies
Okay.
and stuff. Yeah, it's very much the radioactive zone of Chernobyl. This is because it's all overgrown with weird crap and science fiction elements and stuff like that. Fallout is more just raiders and giant mutants, but this one is more strange alien stuff going on and whatever, which is more like Stalker.
Okay.
It looks good though. I mean, graphically, it looks amazing. It's only single player, which, for those of you looking for some co-op stuff,
Yeah.
sorry, you're out of luck
Single
for this
player,
one.
I'm all for though.
I would like a co-op apocalypse one, but that's
Too bad
not
they never
the
did it with
Fallout MMO. Yeah, I don't want an MMO. I want just a game where I can invite a buddy. That's it, and play that. I don't like
That would be cool if
the
you
Fallout 76. I thought that shit was stupid. I
Well,
don't
I
like
thought it was going to be like Fallout 4, except you could co-op.
right, but it wasn't. It was
Mhm.
whatever. It was grindy and it just wasn't fun. In my opinion. I mean, I hear it got way better, but I never went back. But yeah, again, this game comes out on March 27th. Check out the trailer on Game Trailers on YouTube. But it looks really good. It looks like it's Unreal Engine 5, so I mean, graphics are just mind-blowing. Even though since it's coming out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, are they going to dumb it down like that? I hope not. But we'll see.
Well, I mean, okay. It's done by Rebellion Developments.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know them, but they did the Alien versus Predator series and the Sniper Elite series.
Okay. Interesting. It's
Does
also
that mean anything? Like,
yeah. They're not bad. They're interesting games.
okay.
It means the gunplay will be at least really good. But it is inspired by the Quartermass Experiment, The Prisoner, Doctor Who, The Wicker Man, and The Day of the Triflets.
What an interesting combination.
Right. And the plot is similar to Children of Men. Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. Very interesting. Looks good. What else? What's next on the list here? Tales of the Shire. Fuck yes. So,
is that the Lord of the Rings one?
Yeah, so if you like Telltale style games,
Yep.
There's a Lord of the Rings one coming out called Tales of the Shire. I know a lot of my friends, mostly the female gamers, funny enough, they're excited for this game because it's cute and they love the Lord of the Rings, and that's why they're my friends. But no, Tales of the Shire will be one of those more visual novel style games.
I like those.
With Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley-ish elements to it, where you can farm, build your land, plot out your shire, and stuff like that. So that's dope. I like that.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Right. It's oops. I'll pull up the wrong page here. It is coming out to PC. It will on. Oh wow, it got pushed back. Well, It got
Way
pushed
back.
back till July 29th. It was supposed to come out in March.
Oh,
I'm assuming that probably the beta will drop or something, like a early access version or whatever. But yeah, it got pushed all the way back to July 29th. That
oh,
sucks. I would have looked forward to playing it now. Um,
Now
but
you'll
you know what?
just forget about it.
This happens with a lot of games, and to be honest, it's usually a good thing. That means they're polishing
Yeah.
something, they're fixing
Yeah.
something that didn't work. And I'd much rather have a game come out that actually runs and not a buggy mess. You know what I mean? Like, there's too many games sometimes, like, especially major culprits, EA and Ubisoft, who love
Oh,
to
God,
release
yeah.
games in an unfinished state. You know, but this is by a small developer, Weta Workshop. So,
Wait, as in like the company that actually did the special effects for Lord of the
yep,
Rings?
this is their first little game.
Okay.
They're first in their game division, so it's a small team. So I'm hyped. Has a very
Mhm.
sorry, I'm chewing. Has a very cutesy aesthetic, and it's not based on any of the books, but it's set in that world, and it's set um, before the events of The Hobbit.
Okay.
Actually, it's set during the events of The Hobbit. It was originally supposed to release on March 25th, but
March 25th.
but now it got pushed back to July. So it's set during the events of The Hobbit while Bilbo is off traveling. Yet Gandalf will make an appearance in the game. That's weird. I guess. Well, he does leave them for a while, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he comes home to check on them, I guess. But it's got a whole bunch of little, besides the visual novel stuff, it'll have elements of like I said, Animal Crossing and stuff, and as well as like fishing mini games and other stuff. So looks fun.
Yeah.
The first Berserker Kazan is the next game. You heard of this one?
Well, I mean, I saw your list, but I
This one also looks really good. I mean, there's actually a series of these games it's part of a series, right? I forgot what the original games were. I think the series is just called The First Berserker or something like that. But this is the newest part of the series, and it follows a character named Kazan who is out for revenge. I don't really want to say why he's out for revenge, because that might be a spoiler for people who want to play the other games in the series. But it's let's put it this way, he used to be a general, like a high-ranking general of an empire, and then some bad stuff happened, and now he was exiled, and so now he's got to go back and kick some ass and right all the wrongs.
okay. It says it's based on the Dungeon and Fighter universe.
There you go. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's set in that universe, which is a long running series, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. They've been running from like the late 80s, early 90s. They've been around for a while. I don't know what else to say about it. It looks good. The graphics look amazing. It is going to be a hack and slash style third person combat game. So if that's right up your alley, it's not going to be all Dark Souls or anything. It's definitely not a Souls like, and it's definitely not a roguelite either. It's more along
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry, exactly. It's more along those lines and stuff where you just mash and do combos and whoop some ass. The game is set to release on when?
24th of March.
Is it 24th of March? Okay.
That's what I'm getting.
Okay.
I'm getting like a countdown. You see that?
Oh, dope. Okay. I was looking on the wiki. I should have clicked on the Steam.
Assassin's Creed too.
I should have looked on the Steam page here. And yeah, no, I'm definitely Yeah, 27th of March. Sorry.
Did you say 27th or 25th?
According to Steam, coming March 27th.
I wonder
So
if it's a bait or not.
that I don't know. But it is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Microsoft Windows. So make sure you check if you're a big fan of like sword, sorcery, high epic fantasy stuff, this is definitely up your alley. Things like Elden Ring and stuff. If you're into those kind of worlds, that's what this is kind of like. But of course, the gameplay is more Devil May Cry. And last but not least, Commandos Origins. How many of you have played the Commandos games?
I have not.
All right, Commandos is a very old franchise, and I'm talking top-down RTS way back in the Windows 95 days. So this series has been around for a long time. However, this game is a prequel to all of that. This game is actually a prequel to all of that, which is insane because it's been like 30 years since the first game came out. That is insane. But I am looking forward to it. Again, if you're into like RTS style games, moving your troops around, building little bases and attacking stuff, that's what this kind of game is. It's in full 4K, full 360 degree manipulation, which is amazing. I love it. It got pushed back. Are you serious? Original release date, March 25th, pushed back to April 9th. So
okay, that's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, this one's at least not super far pushed back, but it also got pushed back, which sucks, but for those of you excited for it. But will be coming to PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Microsoft Windows, and Xbox One. Not a lot of love for Nintendo, huh? Nintendo is like nothing is coming out for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they're getting prepared for their Nintendo Switch 2, which is dumb. I can understand why everybody hates the Switch 2 because it's literally just a non-upgrade or a non-plussed upgrade, that doesn't really do much, and
all of its text upgraded.
Yeah, but not really that much more,
I guess I didn't look at the specs.
And the games that they've currently been releasing on the Switch haven't really even fully utilized what's built into the Switch. So
yeah, I've noticed that with a lot of them.
It's just a way for Nintendo.
Well, it's because a lot of developers just like can do it quick, and it's cheap because they can sell a lot.
I'll get a Switch 2 when they announce a really good lineup of. If they announce Metroid Prime 4 for real, or a new Super Mario Brothers, maybe. But other than that, I could care less. I just, whatever. Anyways, well, that does it for our previews. Now we have a new segment.
There is one thing I need to add quick. It's for the video game. Apparently, the T-1000 will be on the Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh, the Liquid Terminator?
The DLC? Yeah, T-1000.
Okay. That's cool.
That's exciting.
We had the T-800, I think, on the last one, right?
Yeah. I'm curious to see what his fatalities are and stuff, so.
Yeah, because he can turn into literally anything. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
That is a good one. Especially for us, horror fans.
Yeah.
But all right, anything else before I move on?
No, that's all I got.
All right, we're at the last segment of the video. This is something new we wanted to do, called the Dreamcast. Basically, what this is how a lot of people out there, you watching probably, have had fan castings for your upcoming movies and stuff. Where an actor you'd love to see play a role in whatever movie's coming out that gets you excited, right? So I put together a list for the MCU of a bunch of characters who will be appearing in future MCU movies, and very soon, I should say, but we haven't been told who's in those roles yet. So that lets us play around with some, and I also added some actors on here that we heard have been hired by Marvel that we have no idea who they're playing. So a mixed match of the two. So I'm going to start off with Daniel Craig as Magneto.
That's a good one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just picture it.
I
I
can
mean,
see it.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like, he's a good evolution from the Michael Fassbender style, and everything that he brought. And Daniel Craig, because everybody's like, with the Jewish history of Magneto and so on and so forth. Daniel Craig actually played in a film back in, I think, 2010-ish, where he plays a Jewish soldier guy helping people escape out of Nazi Germany and shit. So, he has ties to that community and stuff. I think it would be great. Now, obviously, if we have a Magneto, we need a Professor X. So how about Ewan McGregor?
That's interesting.
Right?
I mean, he's a good actor. So, yeah, why not?
I think that's a very good contrast between the two, right? Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, but bald and in a wheelchair.
That really would be a very...
Taking on Daniel Craig 007 Magneto.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
So
yeah, he really does have that calming, I guess, presence.
Right, because you need a teacher. You need somebody who can be a teacher, right? And so
leader.
Right.
You're right. He's Obi-Wan.
Next up, we gotta flesh out the actual X-Men roster here. We'll start with Rogue, Sophie Thatcher.
Sophie Thatcher.
She was most recently in that movie with Hugh Grant, the religious movie.
Oh, Heretic.
Heretic. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
I think she's got the chops to be a little Cajun firehouse, but she's also sad. You know what I mean?
She does have that sad,
she's because you want to feel sorry for Rogue. She can't touch anybody. She can't have any kind of physical intimacy in any way, like from not even just saying like sex or something, but not even just a hug. Like she can't do any of that shit, unless she's wearing like 8 layers of clothes.
Yeah, and Sophie Thatcher's eyes just give you that.
Right, she's very expressive.
Deep need for wanting that connection.
So I thought Sophie Thatcher for Rogue. Then Florian Montagu as Colossus. You might know him from the Creed movies. He's Drago's son in the Creed movies.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so him as Colossus. I mean, he's big, buff, and he's a good actor.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, he's gorgeous. There you go. He's got everything going for him, right? Then for Cyclops, we need somebody a little bit older because he's the team lead. So Scott Eastwood.
Yeah. That would work.
Scott Eastwood has a very...
I only heard Eastwood, and I'm like, you're not thinking...
No. Clint Eastwood could be his long-lost daddy, But no, Scott Eastwood as Cyclops, I think he's got the gruffness.
He's got that... He does, but you need a little... Well, I don't know. Maybe. The look, I'm just trying to think of his performance.
His performances, it would be good. I mean, I think he would pull it off.
I'm trying to think of what I saw him in where I was really like, damn, that was really good.
I think you could pull it off because he's got to be kind of a dick. Cyclops is kind of a dick, but he's also got to kind of be sympathetic.
Gran Torino.
Yeah. Next up, Norman. This is more Spider-Man adjacent, so I'll skip the Spider-Man ones. Hold on. We'll go to Jubilee, Stephanie Sue, who is from Everything Everywhere All at Once. She's Jobu Tupaki.
Okay,
her
works.
as Jubilee. Come on, like it just works.
Yeah, no, that works.
She's hilarious.
Like that, but like a little annoying too sometimes.
Yeah,
so
and
that
she's
works.
got the whole 80s vibe to her.
Mm-hmm.
Grant Gustin of The Flash as the Beast.
That's
right. I mean, because you got to think. I mean, the Beast will be CG, so it don't matter what Grant Gustin if he's skinny and whatever, because Beast will just be a big blue CG furry guy. But Grant Gustin has that soft intellectual, especially now that he's older. I think he would be perfect as Beast.
Yeah, the voice is.
He has the voice for it too.
Right.
Yeah, the good contrast. His voice. Yeah, I like that.
Patrick Schwarzenegger as Iceman. He did awesome in The Boys, Gen V, as the exploding torch guy, right? And so I was like, what's the opposite of that? Iceman, right? So he should do Iceman. He's Bobby Drake. I mean, that's Patrick Schwarzenegger. He's got that kind of dumb but puppy dog thing to him. You know what I mean? Which is what Iceman is, you know. Cynthia Erivo from Wicked as Storm.
Yeah, definitely.
Or alternatively, Gugu Mbatha Raw as Storm, depending on which type of Storm you want to do. If you do Storm from Africa, the more queen-like, Cynthia Erivo. If you do grew up 1980s in America Storm, Gugu Mbatha. She's from like Cloverfield Paradox and stuff like that.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what she looks like.
Yeah, I just pulled her up.
Gugumbatha.
Yeah, I just pulled her up.
Oops.
Yeah, I can see that because Cynthia has that more like elegant kind of.
Right, she's more queen-like, right? And so if you do Storm from Africa with that storyline, Cynthia Erivo. But if you do I grew up, streets of New York, Bronx type, Gugu Mbatha is more that
she has
personality.
That Bronx kind of look.
Then next up, Jean Grey, Sadie Sink from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Now everybody was like, "Well, you have whatever as Scott Eastwood as Cyclops." Sadie Sink is in her 20s too. She just looks like she's 13.
Yeah,
but she's actually in her 20s.
Yeah, she's 22.
She just looks really young. You know what I mean? So she's only 4 years younger than Scott Eastwood. So
I'm trying to remember the difference between the two though, because that's one thing because Scott Eastwood's like 6 foot something. How tall is Sadie Sink?
She's like 5'5".
Yeah,
but that's okay. It still works.
Okay.
5'3". She's 5'3".
Jean Grey doesn't need to be tall. She just needs to be cute and bossy and kind of annoying. Otherwise, I have Abigail Cowen, Cowen, as Jean Grey. She's my second choice. You can list off where she's from.
Abigail Cowen. Okay.
Redeeming Love, Fate the Wink Saga, I Still Believe, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Electrica.
That's where I saw.
Yeah, I think she would make a decent Jean Grey. I think she's kind of, I don't want to say dumb because that's bad. She's very optimistic, like naive. Naive is the best word.
Yeah.
She's very good at playing a naive character, which is what Jean Grey kind of is, right?
Yeah.
And then for the final roster of the X-Men, Angel, Charlie Plummer, who's also in Stranger Things. He was the bad guy in season 4.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He's got a very Malcolm McDowell thing to him.
Yeah,
but
work really
as well. Angel, because Angel, and then when he becomes Archangel, I think that would really work. You know? He can go from good guy to bad guy really well. So Charlie Plummer, I think, would be really good. As for non X-Men characters for my MCU, I only have 2, and they're both for Norman Osborn, depending on which way the universe goes, the multiverse. Colin Firth, if you want a white Norman Osborn, or Denzel Washington, if you want a black Norman Osborn.
Colin Firth, huh?
I want to
Colin Firth is he always plays politicians and kind of an asshole boss guy in charge, even though you're supposed to also like him, because he's soft-spoken in some things, which is what Norman Osborn has to have those qualities. He has to be the family man because he really does give a shit about Harry and his family, right? But he's also a ruthless businessman. So they need to have both of those qualities. So I think Colin Firth, especially after watching The Kingsman, or Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington can do that too.
I would really like to see Denzel.
Yeah, if they do,
right?
Like if they do Norman Osborn from, say, like the Miles Morales universe or something, right? If they do something like that in the MCU, why not have Denzel bring it in? That'd be great. I mean, no one. I get it. The online community will be like, oh, but Norman Osborn's white. Well, multiverse.
Yeah.
Right? Do we have to?
We've already established in the main MCU that Norman Osborn or the Osborns don't exist. So the white version doesn't have to exist. This could be the alternate reality black version. And the same. But if you really want a white one, then Colin Firth, I think would be my choice.
You can do both.
Yeah, or do both. I mean,
Yeah,
with
you
the
could do
with the
both.
Secret Wars, you can have
Yeah,
you know
do it
5,
with
6
style.
different Norman Osborns, all the Green Goblins. You know, so why not? But that's all I have on my Dreamcast. Do you guys have
I
any on
really
your
like-
Dreamcast?
Oh no, I was just saying, I like seeing Denzel as a villain because I mean, he's typecast kind of as the same part, and he's good at all the time.
The only thing is, after watching Gladiator 2, he kind of phoned that performance in, and
Fortunate.
I feel like he's getting a little too old to do it. You know, it's not that he has like memory issues or whatever. I mean, on Graham Norton, the motherfucker recited Hamlet live on television. You know, he's still got gravitas and still has that. But sometimes, if he's not feeling a project, he'll phone that in. And if he does Marvel just for the cash, I don't want a lackluster Norman Osborn. I want full out Willem Dafoe Norman Osborn. I want you to give it your all, you know?
Yeah.
But
That would be another one that
who
would
would
be
you
interesting.
I didn't add it to my list, but who would you have as Harry? Who would you guys pick as Harry?
Harry, I'm trying to think.
Because you need a connection to Spider-Man. So you need a young Harry Osborn. Now
You need someone
in the comics, he's kind of like a bro, like a nerd jock. In the cartoon show, he was kind of a wiry geek, the rich boy geek, Richie Rich, right?
I kind of want
Depending
the
on-
jock because that's sort of a contrast with Spider-Man.
Right.
Oh man, what is that guy's name? I have to think of someone who's in their like 20s.
And the only reason I bring up the Spider-Man characters besides X-Men, because we know X-Men is definitely coming after Secret Wars, but Spider-Man 4 is also in production currently. So, and we know that they're going to be adding another multiversal thing, the Spider-Verse stuff. So we most likely are getting the Osborns, you know, if they don't bring back Willem Dafoe, we're going to get somebody else in the Osborn role, you know. That's why I bring it up. Aunt May, we already got. Aunt May's dead. R.I.P.
Yeah.
With great power came. I mean, we could get an alternate if you want to Dreamcast an alternate reality Ben Parker, not Adam Scott. I don't know who I would cast as that. You know, I would cast. What's his name from Mindhunter? Who played Tetch in Mindhunter?
I didn't watch mine.
What? What's wrong with you?
A lot, but
What's McCallany?
Yeah, that guy. Holt
Holt
McCallany. Him as Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
He's about the same age as Marissa Tomei was, and he's got the Uncle Banus. Uncle Banus. Uncle Ben. He's got the Uncle Ben to him, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, what did I see him in? I know this actor.
He's also in Batman. He's the Batman versus Superman. He's the guy who gets his ass beat. I think Batman versus... No, he's in the Christian Bale Batman. No, he's in one of the Batmans.
Fight Club.
Is he in Fight Club? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know he was in one of the Batmans where he got his ass beat. Mindhunter, he was recently in the Iron Claw as the dad, who runs the wrestling family. He was in Wrath of Man with Statham. That's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay, yeah, I remember. Maybe it was Iron Claw that I'm thinking of.
But I could see him as Uncle Ben, an alternate reality version, because there is an alternate reality version of Uncle Ben who becomes Spider-Man because Peter dies.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be kind of cool to see that guy.
Yeah.
But here, how about these two? If you can't think of a Harry, how about who would you get for Miles and his uncle?
Hold on.
I mean, we already
know that. They have
Yeah.
Donald Glover.
Right. We have Donald Glover as the Panther.
Yeah.
Or not Panther. Prowler. Sorry. The Prowler.
Yeah.
But who would you get for Miles? You need somebody who's more Puerto Rican. Right? Because he's got Hispanic roots.
Yeah, that's true.
right?
Oh man,
Because everybody
that's
forgets
the
that. Like Miles Morales, his mom is like, his dad is black and his mom is like, I want to say she's Mexican or she's at least Spanish. So he has.
Yeah, she is.
And she runs for mayor or whatever. I think her last name is Alvarez. Or no, she's Morales, right? The dad is not Morales. The dad has a different name.
I'm trying to figure out if this kid is the voice actor for Darius in Camp Cretaceous and the Jurassic World Chaos Theory. His name is Paul McKell Williams,
Paul.
or it's like Mikel.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what his
How young is
ethnicity
he?
is.
Born
He's 18.
2006. Yeah, it could work. I mean, just if we do a high school, because Tom Holland is still pretty young looking too.
I would realistically we would want someone in their 20s, but this kid would work.
No, because you want somebody younger. You want because Tom Holland is only.
Oh yeah, duh, you're right. He is.
His
You're right.
Spider-Man is only just now
he
starting
would-
college, so you want a high school.
And we know like his character in that TV series kind of gives Miles Morales vibes.
Yeah, I could see it. I could totally see
Yeah.
it. He's not bad. He's a good choice. Do you think that Sony will do that? Like the way because you have Spider-Man. What's the last one? Beyond the Spider-Verse now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that supposedly is going to have live action elements in it, right? And so I'm assuming that's what Sony is trying to do, at least, is tie their universe into the MCU, right?
I mean, they already did with like Donald Glover being in the.
Well, that and Venom, right? Venom, his goo ended up there.
Yeah,
but
goo.
Feige kept swatting that shit back like a tennis match, you know? So if they introduce a live action Miles Morales and then have Miles, that version, show up in Spider-Man 4, that'd be kind of cool. I would be, because I don't have faith in Sony making a good Spider-Man film outside of the animated ones.
Yeah.
But
they need to be reined in. That's all.
They do have some very interesting casting.
Yeah.
That usually
works. I liked a lot of their casting. It was the movies themselves, scripts and whatnot.
Right, because even Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kraven was interesting. Was actually interesting. The movie just kind of sucked, but the casting was interesting. Or Tom Hardy as Venom.
Absolutely.
Good casting. Just shitty movies, I don't know about Madam Web. That was just dumb. That whole movie was just a dumpster.
Well, it's also because I felt like, even though I do like the actresses that are in it, they were all like phoned in. You know what I mean?
Well, none of them wanted to be part of the movie anymore after they heard that it was a Spider-Man-less Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, and you can see it. You can see them kind of like, going through the motions.
I mean, there's nothing funnier than watching all the press tour of Dakota Johnson talking about that movie. Actually, more like not talking about that movie, like she did not. She regretted everything about being in that film, except for the money. I think she would have even given the money back if she could have, to have that movie erased. But yeah, no, I would. That kid as Miles would be good, and then Glover as the Prowler, of course. And be cool if he like sees Miles, sees this alternate reality Miles, and it's like, and he mistakes it for his nephew, but it's not. In our MCU universe, Miles never becomes Spider-Man, but only from that other universe. Like, it would be like a crazy, weird storyline. But I mean, I think they're really, after Spider-Man 4 and Secret Wars, I think they're going to really move away from the multiverse thing again. They're going to close that hole, and that's going to be the end of it. Because they pretty much, Disney now has all their characters back. At least all the characters that they want to go forward with. So it doesn't really matter. They don't need to have the multiverse open. The only reason they opened the multiverse was to give a reason how to shake up the roster with all new castings for a lot of classic characters, and to bring in the X-Men and whatnot, right? Because otherwise they would have had to establish that a while ago,
Yeah.
So whatever, I think they're going to move away from the multiverse thing. But before then, we are going to get a whole bunch of characters. So, You know, again, those are the ones that I came up with. If you have any other ones, let me know. Go for it. Say it. Do it. Whatever.
Well, I'm trying to think because So they just cast Matthew Lillard for Daredevil season 2.
4.
Oh, you're right. Daredevil yeah. 5, I guess.
Oh,
right?
so it's the sequel to Born Again. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that they called it Born Again because it's like a double entendre. Not only is the show being resurrected from Netflix, but it's also Daredevil in his Catholic sense, being born again in blood and all this other stuff, right? So,
well, I was trying to think of who I'd want him to play, and I think it would have to be.
I don't know a lot about Daredevil villains.
Yeah, but the weird thing is, someone did their own artwork as him as Doc Ock, and I'm actually for that.
Matthew,
I know that's not
maybe. I would rather. I was just thinking in my head, the Hobgoblin.
There you go.
Yeah, actually, hold on.
Because Matthew Lillard, especially after seeing him in Five Nights at Freddy's, he's kind of insane. Of course, Scream.
Good at nuts.
That. Yeah, exactly. Imagine him as, or Dr. Kurt Connors.
Yeah.
He's also very nerdy, like 13 Ghosts.
I'd be happy with him playing anybody. I think he can do either anything, really.
Recent casting.
A very talented actor.
Well, recent casting in Marvel, Henry Cavill, Captain Britain.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Everybody is always like Hyperion because of Superman. No, Captain Britain, man. And we've already established Captain Britain exists in Endgame when Captain America travels back and sees Peggy, and she's talking about Captain Britain, or his real alias, But so it would be cool if Captain Britain somehow time traveled or some shit. I mean, it's not far-fetched. Time travel does exist in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
But I would see Henry Cavill as Captain Britain. I think that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he's in the universe, I'm also excited as him pretty much playing whoever.
And the only reason I had Denzel listed as Norman Osborn is because it's confirmed he has been approached by Marvel, but we don't know why. Now, everybody said Magneto. I don't think so. Denzel as Magneto, no way. Daniel Craig, hell yes. But Denzel, no. But as Norman Osborn, yes.
I could see it. But yeah, Denzel doesn't have the Magneto persona.
Well, the only reason people said Magneto for Denzel is because of Malcolm X, and I'm like,
wait, okay.
But Denzel isn't the same Denzel he was when he did Malcolm X. No. He's a very different style of actor now.
Right. Like, he grew up and he changed.
Right. And I don't see his son either, John David Washington. Mm-mm. I don't really see him in either of those roles either, as Magneto or whatever. Don't get me wrong. I think John David Washington is a good actor. But he is a more youthful, goofy character type. Like his personality. It's more Will Smith in the 90s than it is, Shakespearean drama, Even after watching films like Tenet and stuff, he still doesn't come off or The Creator, right? He's not that serious in his roles. Even if it's a serious action film, he doesn't come off super serious. Yeah. So you need Magneto is a character who's always serious, because that's the whole thing between those two, right? And Norman Osborn, yeah, you want the family man plus the serious businessman, but I don't know. If John David Washington joins the MCU, I would cast him as I don't know. I would cast him in a villain role, to be honest.
Interesting.
Maybe as trying trying to think. Who would be a good? Tombstone from Spider-Man. You know who?
For John David Washington?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you'd have to buff up a lot, but Tombstone would be good.
I think you could do it then. Yeah.
I don't know really. Otherwise, I don't really see. I think he fits really well into the MCU, to be honest. Maybe if he played a hero, maybe Blue Marvel. We do need a Blue Marvel come into the MCU. We need a black Superman, essentially.
Yes.
You know, I mean, because
Yeah.
with the death of Chadwick Boseman, unfortunately,
I know
it left a void. You know, so, and I don't like Shuri as Black Panther. I don't like her character.
Boseman.
It's not that Letitia Wright isn't a good actress. I just don't like her character, you know. And the last T'Challa that they introduced is like 8, right? He's like 8 or 10 or years, whatever. So it's gonna be a while till he grows up to become the next Black Panther. So we need a prominent, strong black superhero. I mean, yeah, we got Falcon, or Captain America. Sorry, you know, but Anthony Mackie, how long? You know, he's also been in the MCU for a while now. How long is he going to keep doing it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we do know how that story ends. That eventually, even he puts down the shield, right? And because, you know, people in America end up being too racist or whatever, you know, and then he's like, I quit being Cap, right? And then it goes to somebody else. And then originally Steve Rogers comes back and de-ages or some shit, but whatever. I think that after Anthony Mackie puts it down, I think there will just be a Cap. You know what I mean? I think they'll just retire that character, you know. I doubt that the next Falcon or whatever, the new one, that he'll become the next Cap and whatever. I don't think that'll happen. But but outside of that, we don't have any super powered black superheroes currently.
No.
Right? Like, that's it. Shuri is the only one, right?
Yeah.
Because Falcon or Captain America doesn't. He doesn't. I mean, it makes it a point in the movie that he doesn't have the super soldier serum. You know. Well, I guess you have Isaiah Bradley, but he's.
Yeah.
I think he's just a supporting character, you know.
But also, I mean, he's kind of up there in age too, so you can't.
He's not going to join the Avengers anytime soon.
No.
Yeah, so we need a prominent black powerhouse character, you know. I guess if they're bringing, I mean, they said they were bringing back Luke Cage, but again, Luke Cage is Heroes for Hire. He's a ground hero.
Yeah.
He's not going to be in the movies.
That sucks. He'd be great. What's his name?
Right, but I don't know if he's popular enough. Let's put it that way.
That's unfortunate.
To be in the films. Like, I think the shows will be popular.
Put him in the film.
I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be. He's not Avengers. Let's put it this way. He's not Avengers material. You need somebody with spectacle powers. Blue Marvel is literally Black Superman.
Really, like,
Blue Marvel shoots laser beams, flies, can lift an entire fucking building.
You have Hawkeye and Black Widow who don't have powers at all, so they were Avengers.
Yeah, that's true, but that was when it was first starting out. At this point, the threats are fucking galactic. You know what I mean? You're gonna need powerhouse things, and I already assume. So, because everybody was talking about this when spoilers, by the way, for Captain America 4: Brave New World. If you haven't seen it yet, so I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay, spoilers, but in the film, President Ross talks to Mackie, right? Like, I want you to start the new Avengers, right? And everybody's like, well, who would that even, like, all the critics online, right? Who would that even be? You know, and they all bring up those, like, the kids, right? And I'm like, no, I'm 100% sure that Harrison Ford, you know, President Ross, who he meant was the people we're going to see in the Thunderbolts. That's who he planned on making the Avengers, minus U.S. Agent.
Well, yeah,
right?
That's why they were calling them the Thunderbolts, right?
Right, exactly. I was thinking, that's probably who he meant, was the people that Valerie had gathered, minus U.S. Agent, you know, because we don't need two Caps.
I think a bunch of them would still be.
And then
Avengers.
when Mackie turns it down, when Captain America turns it down, that's why they bring on U.S. Agent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they'll still be part of the Avengers.
But that's who I think that President Ross meant as the new Avengers. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, a lot of them are still. It's not like they're not kicking. They just have to gather them.
And let's be honest, like Ghost, Yelena, and maybe Taskmaster, they're redeemable. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, the new trailer for Thunderbolts is amazing. That they show off just a little bit of what the Void can do by sucking people and entire cities into shadow, into nothingness. Awesome, crazy. I hope they go full on out with the Sentry. But aside from that, I don't think the Sentry. I think he's either going to end up, wiping his own mind again or something or whatever, or going into exile. I don't think he's going to become an Avengers member, right? He's going to go off into space or die or something, right? So the people that we're going to left with are going to be John Walker, Yelena, Ghost, Taskmaster, and who else? Oh, Red Guardian. Red Guardian again. I think he's either going to die or he's going to get whatever. I'm retired, right? I'm done with this, type of shit. I'm going to be the man in the chair instead, right?
Yeah.
And we know Bucky isn't going to join him. Bucky's on his way to becoming a senator.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
I think that those are your non-powered people that are joining. I mean, they have powers, but they're not like whatever. Ghost can phase through stuff. Yelena is just a Black Widow, and Taskmaster is also Captain America-ish, right? We can copy people's moves, but he's wearing a super suit, right? Those are your ground-based Avengers. So you need a Vision, a Thor, and a Hulk, right? Now they could get another Hulk. If they continue with Ross as Red Hulk, then you have that, or you have an Amadeus Cho, or Scar, right? His son.
But wait, why wouldn't Mark Ruffalo not be Hulk?
Because he said he was done. He was done with the Avengers.
Absolutely done.
I mean, the actor, the character. The character is done.
I know. I'm saying that saying they're done with the Avengers doesn't mean anything.
Well, all the other ones that said they're done are done too. I don't think they're going to bring back. But to see that the thing is, it's also now outside of the Marvel universe, studio wise, Marvel can't do a lot with the Hulk, but they can do whatever they want with Red Hulk.
That's true.
Exactly. They don't have to go through Universal with it. So Red Hulk or Amadeus Cho, the Hulk, they can, right? So they're going to move on to that. That's why they tried to move on to She-Hulk, but that just backfired.
And that was absolutely horrible.
Yeah. So you have that replacing, so that you still need a Vision and a Thor. Blue Marvel would fill the Thor part with the basically almost being a flying god himself. So that would be perfect.
We still have Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, and Wong.
Well, so Doctor Strange again is off on his own more.
Yeah, but I mean, when it comes to Avengers coming together,
and I'm pretty sure from the interviews that have been given so far, I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange is going to die in Secret Wars.
Okay. I mean, they got to have somebody big.
Wong was supposed to get his own spin-off show, right? The School of Magic thing, and that got canceled. So I'm pretty sure they're out, those characters. They're going to exist in the universe, but there's going to be a new Sorcerer Supreme down the line, but whatever. And that will most likely be part of the young Avengers team, right? Because I'm splitting them in half. There's going to be the Avengers, the main team, and then there's going to be Ms. Marvel and Kate Bishop and stuff. They're going to be part of the young Avengers, right? It's like Justice League and Teen Titans. I'm pretty sure that's how they're going to do it. You know what I mean? And the Young Avengers will be Disney Plus TV show based, and the big Avengers will be the movies, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to have room for 3 teams, because you also have to think the X-Men is coming. And you've also got the Fantastic Four. So there's too many team-ups.
Kevin Feige did say that Avengers Secret Wars / Doomsday is going to be even bigger than Endgame. So yeah, you're going to have all those teams come in. Yes, in that film, but I'm saying going forward, franchise-wise, you're going to have mainline Avengers films, because that's still major part of the franchise, which will be whatever new adult team that they come up with. You'll have the X-Men
and then occasionally a Fantastic Four, which I guess you could say that's a team film, but there are you can almost consider Fantastic Four as one hero because they never do anything without each other. You know what I mean? Right. So they're only one superhero that just happens to be four people. You know, so I don't consider those a team up movie. It's like the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? The Galaxy was one superhero unit, but it was a team of 5 people, right? Yeah. So I'm going to throw Fantastic Four into that realm. But as far as team up movies go, you're going to have the Avengers and the X-Men, and that's it. I think the Young Avengers are going to be Disney Plus based only. And I think Spider-Man will be the lead on that one. Right?
More than likely.
Like Ms. Marvel is recruiting them all, but I think Spider-Man will be like, she's going to geek out like, oh my God, I know who you are, and shit. And Spider-Man will be like the lead. I've done this before. I worked with the Avengers, and like he's going to basically Nightwing the Teen Titans. You know what I mean? Spider-Man will be that to the new Avengers. And then because he's still in that realm where he can help them become better heroes and stuff. It's not that he wouldn't, because he doesn't want to be on the big Avengers team. That's why he turned it down, right? And then with the big Avengers, I think that's when they're going to introduce a few more cosmic abled superheroes, which is why I said we need a Blue Marvel, and then we need somebody like Vision. I mean, Shang-Chi would be a great addition. I would love Shang-Chi in there, because he's very mystical. He would basically replace Doctor Strange, but see, that's the thing. With Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, and a couple of the other ones that they've introduced and things like Werewolf by Night and stuff, I think that they're going to do another Disney Plus Midnight Suns. Blade, Moon Knight, Shang-Chi, Strange, or Wong, whatever.
Yeah, I think Oscar Isaac did say recently he'd be in a movie. So
right, they're all going to appear in Secret Wars because that's literally the entire fucking universes collapsing and going to war. But
I also think he was popular enough.
Going forward from that, I think they're going to do a Midnight Suns TV show. 8 episodes, and it's going to be those characters. Instead of having a separate show for each one, a separate Moon Knight show, a separate whatever, Same with like the Disney Plus, Ms. Marvel, Kate Bishop and stuff. Instead of having separate shows for each one of those, they're going to put them together in one show, Young Avengers, Midnight Suns, and stuff. Because Blade, that movie ain't ever fucking getting off the ground. Mahershala Ali gonna be 80 by the time he plays Blade, But if they do a TV show, putting him in a Midnight Suns kind of group, like let's say they have Moon Knight, Wong, Shang-Chi and stuff teaming up, right? After the events of Shang-Chi, and Kit Harington as Black Knight and stuff, right? Somebody stole the Black Sword, right? We need to hunt him down. It turns out to be Blade because he needed it to kill fucking Dracula. I don't know. You know what I mean? And then they find out Blade's not actually a villain, We could use you on our team. Boom. Done. That's the story. You know what I mean? And then you have the Midnight Suns who hunt down all the supernatural threats. And then they could do a big Midnight Suns movie, but that's how you establish that story, how you get them all together and shit. I don't know, but like doing several separate movies for them, I don't see it. Like as much as I loved the Shang-Chi movie, I don't see them making a part 2 anytime soon, plus Daniel Destin Cretton is busy with Secret Wars and then Spider-Man 4 and stuff that he pretty much put Shang-Chi on the back burner anyways, so whatever, we'll see. Anyways, wow. So, we went way off topic with the Dreamcast stuff here. Is there any other actors you would have loved to see or that you heard of joining the MCU and you want to speculate what role they're playing? I mean, like we already know Sacha Baron Cohen is Mephisto. Most of the actors have pretty much been named who they're playing, and it's not really a big deal. I would have rather seen somebody else play Doom than Robert Downey Jr., but if they do something interesting with it, cool. If not, meh. You know what I mean? there's been a few there. You know, the MCU doesn't always have to hit a high stride. But
That
yeah, any other actors you want to see join, or characters you'd like to see on the big screen?
Characters.
I would love to see a Mr. Sinister down the line, and I want if he was still alive, Tony Todd would have been
Yeah.
my choice as Mr. Sinister, because holy balls, that would have been awesome. You know what I mean? His gruff, deep voice, and he's already Death in Final Destination. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mr. Sinister is literally Death, the mutant. So I would have loved to see that. And I would love to see fuck, I can't remember his name. Stingray from Cobra Kai as Mojo. You know what I'm talking about? He's also Richard Jewell. The movie Richard Jewell. That guy has like some actual Oscar nominations behind him. Richard Jewell, the actor here.
Oh, Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah, that guy. Him as Mojo from the X-Men universe.
Yeah, that actually was pretty funny.
Right. I think that would have been cool. I think that would work. Like, why not? You know what I mean? But other than that, I'll have to wait and see plot wise where they go. The other big one, the other rumor is that Henry Cavill will be playing Annihilus in the MCU. I don't know if I like that. It's just, I'd rather have Henry Cavill play Captain Britain. I don't really want to see him hidden behind a Bugman costume.
agreed.
Yeah, Henry Cavill's too pretty to be hidden behind makeup. He needs to be out there in his square jawline, you know.
And he's got that really good strong jaw.
Right. He's almost Bruce Campbell, legendary jaw. Who do you think would win in a fight between Bruce Campbell and Jay Leno? If they had
Jay Leno
had a chin battle.
Oh, chin battle. I think Leno wins that.
Yeah.
That would have been a cool. Remember that show, Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That would have been an awesome fight. Bruce Campbell versus Jay Leno. Chin battle.
Huh.
But yeah, any other actors?
Not off the top of my head.
Jamie?
I have to think about stuff.
All right, I think we're going to end the stream there. We've been on for 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. Apparently.
Any final thoughts? Stuff you're looking forward to coming to the channel? Like any lists or whatever you want to hype up?
All of them. Watch all of them.
Right.
Watch all of them.
A lot. Tell all your friends to watch all of them and watch them repeatedly.
I don't know if that works. I don't know if that helps. But definitely have multiple accounts watch them.
I did notice, because sometimes I'll watch, and then if I watch too many in a row, I won't see the ads pop up. So yeah, I guess there's a cap or something.
Like a cap. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but watch them all. You know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to our next movie night. I'll post in the community tab what movies are playing, but I have a good idea of which ones I'm going to be screening then. Last movie night was interesting. I mean, it started off slow, but by the time we got to the Gorge, you know, I had quite a few people in there, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know,
I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, no, people tuned in for the Gorge.
And then I just got bored.
The Gorge wasn't interesting. It was okay. Wasn't like mind breaking. I didn't like that they did. I'm so tired of zombie humans. You know, don't get me wrong. I love zombies and all that stuff, but that's the reveal of the bad guys, zombie humans, and it's like I wanted some Lovecraftian tentacled flying monster, spaghetti monster things going on down there. I wanted something, the Mist, down in the bottom of this gorge, you know. And we only get the one giant centipede and the weird tree with teeth. That's it. But The other films were also amazing. You know, Wolfman was okay, but I really loved September 5th. That movie was amazing. Uh, and Nickel Boys is a very unique film, especially since it was Black History Month. It is a film entirely filmed in first person perspective of the life of a black man from throughout the civil rights era all the way to modern day. It was really cool. So if you haven't checked it out, it's very artistic, very Spike Jones. Not Spike Jones,
Yeah.
Spike Lee. Spike Lee. Sorry. Very
There's
Spike Lee.
There's also a book. It's based on a book.
Is it?
So
Yeah, it's very well done. But this upcoming month, less political, more. Well, you guys will find out. You'll see. I got a good mix. There's gonna be at least one drama, one comedy, and one horror. You know, so
nice.
well, I can spoil one. One of them will be Heart Eyes, which is both.
Oh, cool.
Which is
I
all
enjoyed that
three
one.
of those categories. It's a romance, a comedy, and
Yeah.
a horror. So
Yep.
that will be one of the films that is on the that will be. And I believe we will. Let me look at the schedule here. Movie night is on the 22nd of March. So make sure that you sign up with our Discord. Let me know that you're a member of the or you're a subscriber to the channel. I'll prove your change your role to a member status. And then on the 22nd, all you got to do is log into Discord, jump into the Fat Ninja Theater voice chat room, and the movies will be playing in there. And they play in full quality 4K, so you can just enjoy. Blah 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 blah. Any other news you want to talk about?
I'm good.
No,
I got
Jamie.
nothing.
I think we got through everything.
All right, and again, we will be announcing a new addition to the Fat Ninja staff, most likely sometime either mid-March, end of March. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure they feel welcome, you know, and all that good stuff. And yeah, like, share, and subscribe. You know, reach out to us on all the social medias. You got Twitter at Fat Ninja Studio, or sorry, at Studios Fat. We've got Blue Sky, which is what fatninjastudios.bsky.social. Or is it just Fat Ninja? I'm not sure.
Shop
Studios
Fat
Fat, I
Ninja.
think.
Studios
Our merch
Fat.bsky.
store. What's the merch store? Shop?
Fatninja.shop.
Yeah, support us.
Support
The
us.
stuff is good too. I have the shirts, water bottle.
Well, you can
I like
see
'em.
Jamie is wearing
Yeah.
the hoodie right now, right? It's comfy
Yeah.
and keeps you warm.
It's studiosfat.bsky.social.
There you go.
For Blue Sky.
You can also follow me personally on all socials, whether it's Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, whatever. It's always Raging Antibody. With the exception, if you want to follow my personal YouTube, it's Mr. Raging Antibody. But otherwise, Twitch, all that stuff, I'm always Raging Antibody. And Steve, you got any socials?
Yeah, I'm Blockbuster 313 pretty much across them all.
All right, and Jamie?
Find me with Jamie Beach. Jayme.
All right. And we will catch you guys in a month. Well, you can find me on tomorrow if you come to Twitch. I'll be online
And you'll
tomorrow.
see me every Monday and Friday.
Right. And Steve, you don't have to look at his face anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, guys.
Not for a month. Not for a month.
Not for a month. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys soon. Peace.
Bye.
All right, we're muted.